Welcome back to our virtual Amerigo Family Virtual Tour 2021. We're very excited to have our guests back. We're going to take a minute or two to let all the attendees enter the room before we get started here. We are officially on YouTube Live. Sorry, it was just that's what you were hearing in the background there. That's my echo. So we are on YouTube Live. Please share that information with your colleagues, with your friends, in case they are not able to get in the room. We do have a 100 maximum capacity this morning or this evening, wherever you are in the world. Also, before I introduce our guest speakers, I want to remind you that we are giving away some excellent prizes for this virtual FAM tour. We have 3 Apple iPad Airs and 3 Amazon gift cards that we will be giving out. Please remember, when you are posting about your experience throughout the virtual FAM tour, posting to your social media accounts, be sure that your posts are public so our team can take a look at those and gauge your engagement levels throughout this event and include you within the qualification for the prizes. All right, we have an excellent lineup today. Amerigo and all of our staff members are presenting 4 of our premier boarding schools and 1 premier school in Canada. Which I am going to turn over the mic now to Ryan Dugan, the product specialist for our Amerigo and Villanova College team. Hello, Ryan, and thanks for taking up your evening to introduce our audience to your guests today.
Great. Thank you so much, Mike. Good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Ryan Dugan, and I'm the product specialist for the Villanova College International team. Thank you so much for joining us today. I work closely with international students interested in studying at Villanova College Preparatory School here in Ontario, Canada, located directly outside of Toronto. I will provide my contact information at the end of this presentation. So if you would like to set up a time to meet with me, you can contact me at any time and we can arrange a meeting. So we have an amazing panel discussion tonight with 3 of our student ambassadors from Villanova College. Each student is highly talented in many different areas. They are high achievers in academics and extremely involved within the school community. They are the perfect group of students to represent the many amazing aspects of Villanova College. You will get a chance to hear from each of them regarding their experience here at the school. So we will be covering many topics from VC's competitive STEM program, their unique courses, extracurricular activities, and student support programs. Right now, I'd like to introduce everyone to the Director of Admissions at Villanova College, Ms. Jennifer Gray.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. As Ryan said, we are delighted to be here this evening to share more about Villanova College. As Ryan said, I am the Director of Admissions, and I work closely with all of our domestic as well as international students. I have the pleasure of working with Ryan and our amazing Amerigo team, and I'm delighted to be here with all of you this evening. We do, as Ryan said, have some terrific student ambassadors who will be joining us this evening to share all that Villanova has to offer. So again, welcome and thank you for joining us.
Great, thank you, Jennifer. So before all the students introduce themselves, we are going to show a short video of a virtual tour of Villanova College.
Welcome to Villanova College, a top-tier university preparatory high school located just outside the heart of Toronto, Canada. Villanova College is located on a beautiful 53-acre campus. Students have access to the incredible natural resources, including farmland, forest area, and even a private lake with walking trails. Here we are at the main entrance of the school. Villanova College was built in 1999 and has 340 students in grades 9 through 12. The university acceptance rate of 100%, with 98% of graduates accepted into both top school and top of choice. Villanova College has a wide range of college courses with over 90 options, including 9 AP courses offering university credit. This is very unusual for a Canadian school. The school also has an incredible 1-to-8 faculty-to-student ratio. As you can see, Villanova College has spacious, brightly lit academic program where students can bring their own laptops to school. Here we are in the school's fully equipped science labs. Students with a strong interest in STEM find the school's exclusive STEM program that provides students with advanced coursework and hands-on curriculum. We are now entering Villanova College's state-of-the-art athletic facilities. Villanova College is a strong athletics program with championship teams and even professional athlete alumni. International students are eligible to join the varsity sports teams from the moment they arrive on campus. The school has a 70,000 square foot triple gymnasium with basketball courts, plus enough bleacher seating for over 400 spectators. Villanova College also has a state-of-the-art fitness center with weight machines, stationary bikes, and more. We are now entering the arts wing. Villanova College offers students a strong arts program with award-winning bands, jazz band, choirs, and an annual music. The school's theater productions are performed at the beautiful, professional Richmond Hill Center for the Performing Arts. The school also offers many fine arts courses, including opportunities for students to work on drawing, painting, sculpting, printmaking, and even multimedia works. Here's the school store where students can pick up Villanova College gear. The school's mascot is the Knight. We are now in the library and research center, where students have access to hundreds of books, as well as spacious, well-lit areas to study and work on group assignments. The school's mathematics, business, computer science, and communications technology departments work closely together to prepare students to excel, providing them with hands-on experience and in-depth knowledge that prepares them to succeed in their high school courses and beyond. Here you can see Villanova College's beautiful, fully lit, regulation-sized artificial turf field, where the soccer, field hockey, and football teams play. Students interested in swimming or ice hockey also have access to local rinks and pools. At Villanova College, students are immediately welcomed into the close-knit community. Students are each placed with a teacher advisor group, where they receive mentorship and guidance alongside peers from the same teacher throughout their 4 years at school. Students are also placed into one of 4 houses, a program based off the British model with an engagement-friendly competition and an annual school Olympics each spring. We hope you enjoyed this virtual tour of Villanova College, truly a special school. For more information, please visit www.villanovacollege.org.
Okay, great. So if that video was a little choppy for anyone, my colleague Jonas did provide the YouTube link. So if you do want to check it out there on your own, please feel free to do so. So without any further delay, also too, if anyone has any questions throughout this presentation, please feel free to ask any questions in the Q&A section at the bottom of the screen. So without any further delay, I'm going to talk with the students right now, and they're going to go around and introduce themselves. So all of you, if you could state your names, obviously, what grade you're in, and your involvement at Villanova College, that would be great. So Karishma, why don't we start with you?
Hey everyone, my name's Karishma, and I started Villanova when I was in grade 9, and I'm currently in grade 12 right now. So at Villanova, we have so many extracurriculars and so many opportunities for everybody. And so in my 4 years here, I've been a part of a lot of things like Savvy, which is an outreach kind of club. A lot of the bands, we have a jazz band, a senior concert band. We now have drumline. And so I'm a part of all of those bands. Definitely one of my favorite clubs here. And I've been a part of a few debate competitions and speech competitions, which is very interesting and great to get yourself out there. And also one thing that I'm like a part of academically, I guess, is I am a part of the STEM program here at Villanova, which starts in grade 9. And it has allowed me to take a few AP courses in my grade 11 and 12 years. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Krishma. Thank you so much. AK, why don't we go with you next?
Hi, everybody. My name is AK, and I'm also currently in grade 12 at Villanova. I started when I was in grade 5, so I've had experience in both our middle school and in our upper school. And the things that I've been a member of most often and most recently at Villanova have definitely been more on the athletic side and the musical side as well. I've been a member of every level of our basketball team since grade 5, and I was part of 2 basketball teams that were able to go to OFSA, which are the provincial basketball championships. I've also been a part of the track and field team in grade 5, 8, and 9. And recently, I've also been a part of our newly formed Knights Council, where I serve as president alongside Jake and Karishma.
Wonderful. Thank you. Jake.
Hi, everyone. As Mr. Dugan mentioned, I'm Jake, and I'm also in grade 12 here at Villanova College. I started at the school in grade 7, so I'm sort of the happy medium between AK and Karishma. So I've had a bit of experience in both middle school and upper school as well. And as Karishma said, I'm also part of the STEM program, which is basically an enriched science, mathematics, engineering, and technology stream, where at VC we're able to take more of our courses in the math and science stream for those who want to get into the fields involving those types of subjects. So I've really enjoyed that program. And my involvement at the school has been largely based around my partaking in the STEM program. I've done a lot with the science and math. I've been parts of clubs, including the Villanova electric car project, where we built our own electric car from scratch using just a 12-volt battery and various materials that we brought in. I've also done different things with robotics and different bridge building competitions back in middle of various bands as well at the school with the 3 bands that were mentioned in the video. I've also been involved in athletics, participating in the swim team, as well as the slow pitch and soccer team. And I've lastly been involved in various outreach opportunities, including the Savvy Retreat and different service opportunities, such as bringing sandwiches and clothing to the homeless individuals around Toronto in the wintertime.
Perfect. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, everyone, so much. So as you can see, everyone, these 3 students are highly involved in, a lot of different aspects of the school. One thing that both Karishma and Jake mentioned was the STEM program. So like they mentioned, it's an exclusive 4-year application-based STEM enrichment program where students actually start in 9th grade and they accept around 18 to 22 students per year. So that's about 20% of a given grade. Karishma, can you talk to us about how being part of the STEM program is different than, say, not being in the STEM program?
Yeah, so I love the STEM program. The biggest thing for me that made me want to go into the STEM program was that I would be with like-minded peers. Like all of us in the STEM program, we love science. We love innovating and solving problems. So for example, one project that we had that kind of is reoccurring, we have lots of robotic labs. So we program a code and then we build a robot to do something. So we learned projectile motion in physics class. So we would program our robot to projectile a ball, for example, at random distances. So that's one example of something that the regular science class may not do. And that's just super fun. But I would just say the different thing about being in the STEM program is that it's an acceleration program. So that in grade 9, you do regular grade 9 math, but then in grade 10 is where things change. So grade 10, when you're in the STEM program, you take a grade 10 math and a grade 11 math during the year. So grade 10 math for the first half of the year and grade 11 math for the second half of the year. So that in your grade 11 year, you can take grade 12 math, and in your grade 12 year, you can take calculus, which is more university, which is more of a university course. So that's one of the bigger things that when you take a glance at the STEM program, that's like the big thing that we like admire about it, I guess. Jake, do you have anything else to add that I missed?
I think you did a really good job of covering it all, Krishma. I would just say, yeah, on top of everything that you said, it becomes more and more refined every year, which Krishma, basically courses. You start in grade 9 by taking very similar courses to your peers. You're taking math and science, even though it's some extensions, it'll be the same. It'll be more enriched into the program, investment into it with the courses that you're taking. And as a result of this, some people do end up leaving after certain grades, which is completely acceptable because they have a change of heart or a change in path. Or also on the flip side, some people end up joining. So it's not that restrictive wherein if you join in grade 9, you have to stay throughout. You can leave or join after any year, although it does become more difficult later on. But there are some students that make the transition and it works out perfectly well for them.
Perfect, thank you. And I think it's important to know that, Villanova College isn't just about the STEM program, even though the STEM program is wonderful and it's highly reputable and challenging and so forth. Another really great thing about Villanova College are the number of courses that it does offer. So it offers 90 plus college preparatory courses in a lot of different areas. So AKA, can you talk about some of the different type of courses outside of just math and science that you've taken at Villanova College that you found interesting and challenging, and it's kind of helped maybe broaden your mind?
Yeah, sure. So for me personally, during the start of my grade 11 year, I wasn't exactly sure of what I wanted to study in university, but I knew that I wanted to deal with something that involved interacting with people and like more of a social sense. So in terms of social sciences, we have a lot of that at Villanova. In grade 11, you can take law, where you learn more about Canadian law and just the fundamentals of that. And you also research the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which is the Canadian Constitution. Then you also can learn SAP, which stands for Sociology, Anthropology, and Psychology, which is basically is what I've described. And then you have dedicated time throughout the year to learn about different types of different topics among sociology, anthropology, and psychology. And that course specifically definitely helped me narrow my interest and where I'll now be pursuing psychology in my post-secondary studies. And then in grade 12, you can take world issues, which is almost like a continuation of SAP from a sociological sense and a psychological sense, where you just discuss both current and past events going on in the world, and you get to discuss them, you get to research your own topics, and you get to research things like third world countries or just like any kind of relevant issue that's going on in the world. You can take philosophy, which counts as a religion credit. So when you're a high school student, you have to take a religion credit every single year because of just the nature of our school. So from grade 9 to 10, you just take a regular religion course where you learn about Catholicism and the Catholic Church. In grade 11, you take world religions, where you learn about the main religions, so Hinduism, Judaism, Christianity, Buddhism, and Islam. And then in grade 12, you can either take another church and another church and religion course. You can take philosophy, which would also count as a religion credit if you want to learn about philosophy, or if you're just not interested in religion as much. Or you can also take leaders, or it's Christian leadership, which is essentially a class where it's application based. So it also means that you have to take part in an interview, and the people who are fortunate enough to be selected into the class run the initiatives for the school year. So Krishma and I are both part of that leadership class.
Wonderful. And one great thing too about Villanova College are the small class sizes. And any of you, how have you benefited from having smaller class size? What do you think, what's special about having small class sizes? Sure. Okay. I'm like the teacher.
So I think one of the things that I benefited the most from in terms of being in a smaller class is that you really get to build a relationship, not only with the other people in your class, but also with the teachers. So when you're in a smaller class, it obviously means that the teacher can have more attention focused towards you, and that they really, the teachers get a really good sense of who's good at what in their class. And that also means that they kind of know what's best for their students. So if they think that a student needs more help, then they can approach them after class or in between classes and let them know, be like, hey, you can come to these tutorials after class or after school or even before school. And then another thing I really like I said before, is just the community aspect you build with your class. And by the end of the year, the people who you're in class with, like, they become really good friends with you. I think I can speak for both Jake and Krishma when I say that the classes we joined, we all end up becoming really good friends. We make group chats sometimes to help each other with homework or assignments or anything like that, or to help each other study. And then just throughout the year and just throughout us learning, and because we're all united, because we have a common interest in that class, we all end up becoming really close.
Wonderful. You know, we'll take a little step outside of the classroom now in academics. As everyone can see here, you know, the three of you are very involved, you know, whether it's in extracurricular activities, clubs, or a sport. I know that you guys are all musical, since, you know, you can all play an instrument, which is pretty amazing. Jake, can you talk about your involvement in the clubs and the clubs at Villanova College and how they've helped you kind of develop as a person, as a student, and as part of a, you know, community member of Villanova College?
Yeah, certainly. And so being at Villanova College in middle school, I actually got a great head start on getting involved and getting into a lot of clubs. And so something that my parents and teachers alike would tell me before I entered high school and just, you know, entering that experience, they would tell me, try to get as involved as possible. And so I kind of took that extremely seriously, and I tried to, you know, broaden myself into a wide variety of different departments at the school, and it ended up working out amazingly for me. So as I
Sorry, there he is.
Did it cut out there for me?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, I'm back.
You're back though.
So as I was saying, being heavily involved in the STEM program, I've been involved in many STEM efforts, including what I said before with the electric car, with various robotics initiatives and things like that. I would say certainly the electric car experience was what helped me to grow the most as a person. So entering my grade 10 year, I had been introduced to the opportunity, and I was a little bit naive because, you know, the thought of building a car at the age of 15 was a little bit difficult to me. But going under the wings of my science teacher and my physics teachers, you know, was extremely helpful to me in, you know, being able to apply what I've learned in the classroom to various, you know, applications, and also just stepping out of my comfort zone, interacting with different people, and truly forming that community that AK was stressing. As once you join these clubs, you'll find that a lot of people have similar interests to you. You can collaborate with them, you can share perspectives with them, which is an amazing thing. And as I said, my experiences weren't limited to the STEM program at all. That's just one small component of what we offer at VC. There's many other things. Like Karishma said, there's the debate club, which I've been in since grade 9. I also was able to go for persuasive speaking to a national competition in Vancouver in grade 9. So there's the opportunity for travel. There's also different applications of business, including DECA, which I've been involved in, which is essentially just a simulated business experience where you take an exam and have like a live interview at a regional competition. And then there's also various community service and outreach opportunities, which we love to stress at Villanova College, being a Catholic Augustinian institution. So as I mentioned, there's what we call Sandwich Patrol, where we distribute food and clothing to the homeless around Toronto. There's also various retreats with the Savvy Club that Karishma was talking about, where you go to a various other Augustinian school around the United States, and you spend time doing community service work and bonding with other Augustinian students. And the arts program and sports programs we've talked about to a good extent, but those are extremely developed here at VC. So we have a very wide-ranging, you know, display of extracurriculars that you can be a part of.
Wonderful. And another thing to note about Villanova College is the support structure that they have for the students, especially in terms of academics. You know, the tutorial program is something that is quite unique to Villanova College. It's an after-school program where students can sign up in advance to meet with specific teachers to gain extra help in areas that they're having challenges with. And this is something that is highly utilized by all students, you know. So Karishma, can you talk about your experience with the tutorial program, and also talk about how international students may benefit from this program.
Yes, for sure. So I like, call me a nerd, but I love tutorials. Like if like I'm staying after school, the school day usually ends at 2:30, at least now with COVID, it's 2:30, or without COVID, I guess it's usually 2:40. But after school, tutorials start at 3 to 4 p.m. And all the teachers, every single one of them stays in their classroom and is like welcoming to any student who wants to come in for extra help. Or they will take the initiative if they're seeing something, like maybe you're not understanding it so much, like in class, they can kind of see your facial expressions, or, they're good at that. But like they'll tell you, like, how about you come to tutorial this day, like AK was saying, just so we can like go over this topic. You seemed a little like off on it. So that's like a great thing about tutorials, is it's every day, it's always open. And one of my favorite experiences was we had a chem assignment due, and literally our whole class was at tutorial, and we're all helping each other. We're on the board, on like the whiteboard, like doing problems. Some older students were there from older chemistry classes, and they're helping us too. It's really like a community feeling. Obviously with COVID now, it's a little different. It's more online, and you have to schedule your appointments, but without COVID, it's so great. And I would say international students can 100% benefit from it just as much as everyone else, because it can be a one-on-one session, and there's no peers distracting you. There's no like pressure of asking a question in class. You can just go after school, be alone with the teacher, and solidly ask your questions that you're confused about without any judgments and other distractions, which I think is great. Even like before a test, a lot of us would go to tutorials just to do some extra practice. You can even just sit there and do your homework. You don't like necessarily have to ask your teacher. You can just stay there to do your homework even. I think it's a great community experience or one-on-one experience if that's what you want to. It's great. I love tutorials.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. So another thing that is really wonderful about Villanova College is the guidance that they receive in terms of applying to university. So beginning their 11th grade year, they're assigned to a senior level counselor who really works with them one-on-one in finding out what they want to do once they're in university. So they help create a course trajectory that enables them to meet all the requirements needed for specific university programs. And I want to note that 98% of students at Villanova College are accepted not only into their first university, their top university choice, but also their major. And in Canada, a lot of times it's harder to get into a specific program within a university than the university at large. So that just goes to show that the senior level counselors really do work hard and push the students to take those courses that are requirements for admission to these programs. Jake, can you talk about your experience with, you're a 12th grader, so you've had 2 years of working with a senior level counselor. Can you talk about your experience working with him or her and how that's kind of helped you set your future for university?
Yeah, for sure. So in my case, I'm a little bit unique. I've applied to a lot of US schools alongside Canadian schools. And I feel like that has really shown me the areas where our guidance counselors and our team here at BC can shine, because the US applications for Canadian students are a lot more daunting than a lot of the Canadian ones. They have a lot more work required with them. There's a bunch of essay questions that need to be completed for each school, and it's a whole different website that you need to go onto. And so as a grade 11 student wanting to apply to the US, I had my goals set, but I was really unsure of how to set a path to achieve them. And so through constant meeting with my guidance counselor, Miss Han, We were able to set important dates on which I needed to complete various tasks that would set me up for success. We were able to, create a comprehensive plan of the schools that would fit me best. So she took the time in order to assess my interests, assess my participation in various clubs and extracurriculars at VC to prepare me with a refined list of a few schools that would suit me best in my post-secondary education, which is actually extremely helpful because there are so many schools out there that you can apply to for post-secondary education, and it can often be extremely overwhelming if you're not sure where you'd like to focus your interests. And so that was a great help to me. And last but not least, we were able to also, just prepare me in order to write those essays for the US schools, as well as she was a great help in reading them over, refining them in order for me to have the best success possible on my applications. And as I'm sure AK and Krishma, we already talked about the coursework and setting our path for that timetable to suit us best. So in my case, this year, I'm taking 8 courses, which is not usually done by a senior student, but I chose not to take a spare this year. And so it was very difficult to organize my timetable because of the fact that 8 courses is very irregular for students of grade 12. But Ms. Hen was actually able to work with me and get me into every class that I had requested at the beginning of the year. And so it's just that personal feel and that touch that, that our guidance counselors have applied that have made my high school experience great. And I believe have set me up for so many years in the future.
Okay, wonderful. And for AK, so I want to ask you the question first, and then Krishma and Jake, you can follow, and then we'll get to some of the questions that are coming through the Q&A section. If, there's a lot of international students listening right now that, are thinking about coming to Canada to study, as 9th, 10th, maybe 11th graders. And that's a big leap, that's something that it's a big step for them, their parents. What is something you think you can say to them that would comfort them or give them some comfort in knowing that Villanova College would be the right school for them?
So if they wouldn't know already, I actually myself was an international student at one point. I moved here, my family and I moved here from Nigeria when I was 6 years old. So I know, although I may not have been as old as you guys are now, and the transition might have been a bit easier, I still remembered at the time, of course, vividly what my world and what the culture was like in Nigeria before moving to Canada. So at first it was hard for me to transition. The school system was a lot different. I had to learn how to adjust to things like that. But I think that at the end of the day, it really broadened my horizons, and it made me realize just how big the world really is, and just how there's so many different people and different cultures, but how we're all able to bring a part of whatever place that we've left, and we're being able to bring it into this new culture and to impact it positively. So I know for me and also my older brother, when we came here from Nigeria's school system was very intense. And then when I came into the Canadian school system in my classes, I was also a very driven student, which also pushed my classmates, which in turn also helped them push me as well. So I think that in every single international student, it'll definitely help broaden your horizons. You'll get to meet more people. You'll just become more cultured as well because you would be traveling more across the world.
Wonderful. Krishma, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, so one thing that I'm not really sure if you may know, but our international students are integrated in our classes. So it's not they're in separate classes and our domestic kids are in one class. We're all in the same classes. We share advisor groups. It was in the video where you're set with a group of 11 girls or 11 boys, and you go with those. It's your homeroom and you're with them for your whole year. We have 2 international students in my advisor group, Becky and Spring, and they're amazing. I talk to them in all my classes, if I have them in some of my classes. And it's it really is a community feeling. Obviously it's scary. I'm not going to say don't be scared, but don't we're very inviting, and we're not like we try not to be scary, but
like they're regular students, right? I mean,
everyone is, a lot of people are new. Like in grade 9, half the grade is new. And every year there's always a few new students. So don't be so like, you're not going to be the only one. So I think that's just like, don't worry about it so much. Like you can do this.
You can do this. Thank you, Krishma. Jake.
Yeah, definitely. So
he keeps going in and out.
oh, I cut out there again.
You're good.
Obviously, to echo what AK and Karishma said earlier, I feel like the most important thing that I found at our school, especially for international students, is just the cultural diversity at our school, as opposed to my previous schools, is off the charts. There's so many different people that you can come to meet, that you'll learn different things about from their background, like AK was saying, that you'll get introduced to here at VC, that honestly, you'll be so different from everyone else, but everyone else is so different from everyone else. So you unite in your differences, if that makes any sense. But I think that's been a really big thing for me, because at the previous schools I had been to, like public schools, for example, that had been very secluded. It was all from a general location. For example, just the town I lived in, if you're in that jurisdiction, you're going to that school. So a lot of people, there were definitely majorities at the school, but here at Villanova, we have students from the GTA, all around the GTA. So you'll get a lot of different students with that have a lot to bring to the table. And so honestly, you'll find that there's many different groups that you can be a part of, but it's not like there's a clear division between any groups. Everyone operates seamlessly, and it's honestly just a great experience. You'll learn a lot.
Okay, wonderful. So we do have two questions. I think more came in, but I think you guys had answered them in the meantime. One is from Min from Vietnam. And he said, can you share more about the activities outside of school, like trips, volunteer, community work? Villanova College is very community driven. So if you guys can quickly talk about your experience outside of the school and some kind of community projects or initiatives that you've been part of. Okay.
You can go.
Yeah, so for me, we have this requirement for all of our students to gain community service hours. And then so normally we would complete them sometime like throughout our year, periodically, until we reached a certain amount of hours we needed for the year to be able to move on to the next one. But then outside of my community service hours, one of my friends and I, his father worked at a retirement home. He was like an accountant for the home. So my friend and I used to go to the home either on our March break or on our winter break, like during our Christmas break. And we would just go there and we would help out during the day. We would normally just spend most of our day interacting with the residents, like serving them. There would normally be some kind of event, whether it be some kind of singer coming in. Of course, it's pre-corona, but there'd be some kind of singer coming in maybe, or there'd be a band performing, or there'd be maybe like bingo night. I remember one time I went, I believe it was on St. Patrick's Day. So there was like a St. Patrick's Day themed party. So that was like that was definitely my favorite community like initiative that I've been a part of.
Wonderful. And Krishma, you wanted to add something.
Yeah, so like one thing outside of outreach, so we have, like Villanova has these trips. So in grade 9, I was able to go with the band to New York City for like, I think 4 days it was, and we took a bus there. And like we have like those kinds of trips that are super fun. Like that was probably one of my favorite memories here at Villanova, where we went to New York, we played at a school, then we like played at different venues, and that's kind of like our band trip, as well as obviously a little bit of sightseeing. Then there's also a trip, I think every other year we partner with, I think Me to We, I'm not positive about that, but a few years ago, they went to Ecuador and they helped like build a school and just like was like with the community and kind of learned a little bit of like the community life. And that was a really cool trip that I wish I went on, but I didn't, but I heard it was amazing. So like we have a lot of these kinds of trips, something a little smaller than this, but it's still like an excursion, is we usually have winter activity day every year. And obviously we haven't had that for the past 2 years because of COVID, but like one time we went like not paintball, but like it was something similar to paintball. Some people went to Sky Zone, some people, which is like a trampoline place, I think. Some people went to like an escape room, which is more of like solving a mystery kind of thing. So like we have a lot of these like fun excursions that are a part of our school that are just outside of the outreach thing. If you wanted to know a little more of like the fun stuff, which outreach is still fun. I love outreach, but yeah.
Right. Perfect. And then I think we have one more question, which I think, Jake, this is a good one for you. It's from Min from Vietnam again. And he said, I think maybe a lot of international students think that you have to join a club because you have to get into university, which is true. It really does help, look good on an application and so forth. But his question is, what if I want to find a club or an organization that I like, that they're interested in? Is that possible?
Yeah, for sure. So in order to find these organizations that you like or are interested in, there's a lot of resources that we have here at the school. We advertise a lot of the clubs that we do. You'll see it in videos that the school produces. You'll see it in announcements that we do in the mornings and the afternoons. You'll see it on our technological site. It's called EDSB, where we post everything up for our students to see on a daily basis. You'll see the latest news about that. And then on top of that, there's also the opportunity that if you're start your own club. So last year there was a very, a strong supporting of Italian culture, because in my grade there are a few Italians that wanted to start a club. So myself and my cousin included, we went to the director of languages at the school and we asked if we could start the Italian Culture Club. And she was completely on board. We were able to start a club. We got our own group on this EDSB site that I previously mentioned. We set up a meeting time and we got participation right away. And so if students have the initiative and have the drive to start something and see something that they believe in come to fruition, then there's definitely the opportunity to do that here. I'm sure there's been many more times, but for me personally, it worked out extremely well. So there's tons of opportunities here at VC.
All right, wonderful. So this about concludes our portion. Karishma, AK, Jake, I can't thank you enough. Miss Gray as well. This has been wonderful. I know that we could probably sit here and talk about VC and everything that it offers for the next 3 hours. So I hope this was very helpful to everyone, at home in your own countries. Again, if anyone has any questions or, want to learn more about the school, I'm going to provide my email address right here. So feel free to reach out to me to set up an appointment if you want to learn more about specific programs, anything about relating to Villanova College. So you guys are off tomorrow. I know tomorrow is a holiday for you. So you guys are officially done. And again, thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough. You guys are wonderful. And now the weekend truly begins. So go home and enjoy your holiday weekend.
No problem. It was our pleasure.
Yeah.
No problem. It was nice talking to you all.
You too,
Yes.
as always. Jake, bye.
Yeah.
Miss Gray, thank you as always too.
Thank you so much for the opportunity and for joining us this evening. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you everyone for your attention. Thanks Ryan for the great session with Villanova College. Now we are entering the next session with Red Bank Catholic High School, and our presenter is Isabella and Lauren. Izzy and Lauren, you can now start sharing your screen and turn on your videos. Hi Lauren.
Hi, hello everyone. Thank you for coming.
Hi
Great.
everyone.
Okay, Izzy, I will pass it on to you and Lauren now.
Let me share the screen again. All right, can everyone see my screen? Yeah, cool, thank you. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Isabella. I'm a product specialist in Amerigo. Thank you for joining our workshop today. We're going to get you into Canada's neighbor country now. Our first stop is New Jersey Red Bank, where is the home to Red Bank Catholic High School, one of the very unique comprehensive boarding program in Amerigo network. We'll be showing you the campus and sharing the student experience today. We're very glad to have our Director of Campus Operation, Ms. Laura Mooney, join us today. She and her team take care of our international students in the dorm. Not only do they provide them with a nice dorm to learn and grow, they are also the parents on the ground to ensure our international students stay safe and healthy. Hi, Lauren. Do you want to say hi and introduce yourself a little bit?
Sure. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. As he said, I'm Lauren Mooney. I'm the Director of Campus Operations for Amerigo, New Jersey. I have been with Amerigo for 2 years now, started my career at EF at their private boarding school in New York, and then was the Dean of Students at a large New England boarding school. So I'm really happy and thrilled to be at Amerigo and to be providing our students with a holistic approach to their lives while they're here. I really enjoy our small class sizes and the attention that we get to pay to our students. Just this morning, I took 5 of our students into downtown Red Bank to open bank accounts. And then we went to Starbucks and spent the morning together. And that doesn't happen everywhere. It's a really special place. So thank you for joining us this morning. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat box. I would be happy to answer them as well as Izzy.
Thank you so much, Lauren. So Red Bank Catholic High School has a very long history. It was founded in 1927, almost 100 years of history. So the school has a nice mixture of historical buildings and new facilities. We're going to start our tour with a short video showing the school and its surroundings. Let me know if you can hear the sound. Oh, here we go. Next, our student ambassador, Christina, will give you a quick tour of the inside.
Hi everyone, my name is Christina Chaffee and I'm a senior at Red Bank Catholic High School. So first up is the school building, and this showcases the outside front of the building. And you can see this goes into the courtyard, and to the left is the business office, and this is the Broad Street entrance to the school. So this is the Broad Street Auditorium, and this is actually a very historical building in Red Bank Catholic's history. It was actually like the first part of the high school. So in 1925, St. James was appointed a new Monsignor, and the bishop gave him a plan to expand the school. So with this, he wanted to create a school that utilized modern teaching methods, So it was home to 16 classrooms and a new and improved science department, which includes science labs. And as you walk in, it is home to our beautiful auditorium, which now is used for school performances, for choir concerts, for the school plays, and all of the dance shows. So as you go in, this is the hallway. And this shows the stage. We also use the BSA for guest speakers for our grade level retreats as well. So once again, this is just the front courtyard, and to the left is the business office, and this is where most students would enter the school on a normal day. This is the chapel, and this is a small room of worship that is connected to the school. It's not our church, but there is mass held before school on Fridays, and we use it for our grade level retreats for adoration, and it is also used by our senior Christian living classes to host their mock weddings. This is RBC's language lab. Now, RBC offers Spanish, French, and Latin courses, but only the Spanish and French classes use this. So each student is equipped with a set of headphones and a computer and is used to straighten students' listening and speaking capabilities. This is one example of one of our classrooms, and as you can see, the desks are more spaced out to accommodate our COVID-19 restrictions. And this is another example. Still, all the desks are spaced out. So this is our library and Quig. Now, the library itself has a row of computers along the outside, but the Quig essentially becomes a classroom because it's a room full of computers that students could take their classes to if they need each student to have a computer. And it was named in memory of a 1993 RBC graduate, Meg Quigley, who was killed in the 9/11 attack. This is our Sisters of Mercy wall. So in 1888, the Sisters of Mercy came to RBC, and they even ran the school for a while. But to date, there are still a few Sisters of Mercy who teach in the school. This is our engineering lab, which is used by our engineering classes. And some of the things they have built are catapults to use in a pumpkin contest, hoverboards, and even pinball machines. This is our Sarah Emery display, and it's used to showcase our students' art projects, and it's a focal point as you walk in the school. This is one of our classrooms that also utilizes computers, and as you can see, every other computer is up, and that is because of our COVID-19 restrictions. And this is just another room on the 3rd floor that showcases our COVID-19 restrictions. So a little bit more about the Broad Street Auditorium. This is the church. So the church is used, we have school mass every month, and it's also used for our NHS induction and Stations of the Cross and confession. So this is as you go inside, we have a very beautiful church. So the Vincent J. Eck Center was named in memory of someone who helped the Monsignor build the BSA. So this is home to our tradition hall, which basically just showcases our past athletes. And it's home to 2 classrooms which can be used for health, driver's ed, or CPR. It was also our home to our newly built gym in 2011. And this is where our school's basketball teams practice, also where our gym classes are held. It is also home to a weight room, which all of our athletes can use, and is also sometimes used by our gym classes. This is the locker room. So we have a boys and girls locker rooms, and students can come before school and drop their stuff off and then pick it up at the end of the day so they don't have to carry it around school. This is the Performing Arts building, and this is actually the front of it, which is the older part of it, as we call it, because it used to be just this, but then we built more into it to accommodate more of our arts. This is the digital arts lab, which is used for our photography classes. As you can see on the wall, there are some pictures, and it's also equipped with computers, so they can practice editing and posting their pictures. We also have a drawing room, which is used for our drawing classes, a painting room. And on the upper level is home to the dance studio, where all of our dance classes are held and our after-school dance extracurriculars. We also have, to accommodate our music classes, we have a piano lab, and we have the choir room, which is also used after school for choir concerts, performances, and rehearsals. Lastly is our Count Basie field. So this is where all of our RBC athletes practice. So we have football, lacrosse, and our soccer field. So lacrosse is boys and girls, as is soccer. We also have boys and girls field hockey, boys baseball, girls softball, and this is our softball field. Okay, and so we can also see a bird's eye view of the field. So this is our football field, and it also has a track that you can run around. And if we come over to the soccer field, you can also see this one from a bird's eye view. So this is our soccer field. And this is a bird's eye view of our softball field, where our softball teams practice. Oh, I don't know if you paused recording, but okay, so this is our first floor, and as you walk down, you can see the lockers, and I'm going to show you this hallway that we use to get to guidance, because for our seniors, it showcases all of the letters that they received from colleges, and it's also the way that we get to the library and to our guidance office. So if you just, as you go through these double doors in this hallway, this is where all of our college's pennants and letters for scholarships would be posted. So as students walk through, they could see where themselves, the upperclassmen, are going to college. Okay, so we are back to just the front building of RBC, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about why I chose RBC. So I actually went to a public elementary school, and then in middle school, my parents wanted me to go to a Catholic middle school so I could go to a Catholic high school. So I was really in between two high schools, but I chose to go to RBC because I had actually taken a class in 8th grade from one of their teachers, which I really enjoyed. So I already knew one of the teachers, and I had older cousins who went to RBC, and they spoke very highly of it. I've really enjoyed my time at RBC. All the teachers are very dedicated to our learning, and they're always there to help. You know, I've gone to extra help many times, and no teacher has ever not helped me or refused help. I'm also very involved in the dance program, as I've been a competitive dancer for 13 years. I was really excited about all the programs that RBC had to offer. As you climb up in grade level, you're open to more of our after-school dance. We have after-school dance, senior choreography, and now as a senior, I'm actually participating in it. So my friends and I were choreographing our dance that we hope to perform in our spring show. Also, what I really like about RBC is its location. It's right down Broad Street. So you can exit the school and you can walk down, and there's a lot of shops, there's a lot of food, and its location is really also what sold me on going to the school. I am currently taking 3 AP courses in RBC, and now these advanced placement courses are very difficult, but all of the teachers that I've had have been very committed to helping me and helping us balance out our schoolwork with all of our other classes. And RBC is also really dedicated to our learning, especially during COVID, because we are open 5 days a week full-time, and they're a little bit stricter than normal with their rules. We have to wear masks. Our hallways are divided. All of our desks are separated in our classrooms, but we have been successful in staying open, of course, and if we have any cases or there's any liability, we close the school for 2 weeks and then we come back when it's safe again. And this just shows you how much administration and the teachers are dedicated to our learning, because even when we have virtual school, all of the teachers hold Google Meets and they make sure that we have our assignments, that we're up to date on tests. And especially if we miss anything, they're more than happy to help us and go over stuff with us, because sometimes virtual learning can make it hard, but all of the teachers have adapted and they've gotten new setups to make this transition as easy as it can for all of us. I'd really love for you to consider RBC and to come. And if you have any questions, please contact your counselors. And I'm sure that someone in administration or any of the teachers or any of our ambassadors will get back to you to answer any of your questions, and we hope to see you. Should I?
So Red Bank holds a very strong reputation among the locals, as you can tell from our student ambassador, Christina's words. Many students like her will choose to enroll in Red Bank because of its strong academic rigor and also the great resources that are accessible to the students. So Ms. Mooney worked with many of our current international students. What would you often hear they saying the reasons they choose to come to Red Bank?
Sure. So a lot of the reason why students choose to come to Red Bank, they really love the location. So being in downtown Red Bank is such an asset. After school, students can take a walk to Starbucks. They can go shopping at Tiffany's or Urban Outfitters. They can get something to eat. There's bubble tea. There are a number of different restaurants, from American food to Chinese, Thai. There's great food from New Jersey as well. And then once they realize the location is great, they also fall in love with the faculty and their fellow students. The faculty members last year, prior to COVID, came to the residence for our Lunar New Year celebration and made dumplings with our students. And that's just a small example of just how much they love and care for their entire student population. I think it's really easy to feel isolated when you're an international student studying in a U.S. high school, but our students have been Casey's. Casey is the school mascot. It's named after Monsignor Casey, who used money from his Army days to start the athletic department at RBC. But our students have been Casey's since the day they got their acceptance letters. They're not treated any differently than the domestic students, and they're really loving that experience.
Thank you, Ms. Mooney. So to give everyone more ideas, we'll list some quick facts here. 100% of the senior class in Red Bank will be accepted to colleges. This is because, as we said, Red Bank offers a very strong academic curriculum. More than 55 AP honors and dual credit courses help students boost their academic rigor. It is also a SAT and ACT test center, so students can take the test in a place where they're familiar with. Roughly 40% of the students will graduate with a GPA higher than 3.5 and earn an honors roll from National Honor Society. So one thing Red Bank is so great at is supporting its students to meet their individual academic needs. So Ms. Mooney, could you maybe talk a little bit about our current students' academic experience, maybe just one student story?
Sure. I actually have an exciting student story. So on Saturday night, I received a text message from one of the campus coordinators to let me know that Taiman Bach, who is a junior from Vietnam, had scored a 1510 on her SAT. And she is one of our most delightful students. She's funny and bright. But the wonderful thing about our program is that I work very closely with Miss Patricia Hendricks, who is the director of guidance for RBC. And she and I have a great relationship, and she trusts the recommendations that Miss Liz McGinnis, who's our English language learning coordinator, and I make about student placements. So not only did this student score a 1510 on her SAT, but her classes are academically rigorous. She has 5 AP classes next year and is currently taking 3 AP classes as a junior. So that's really tailored to her that's something that she can handle and she feels well supported in. The really nice thing about the academic experience at RBC is that it focuses on the student as a whole. So they have to take art classes, they have to take gym classes, that's a New Jersey state requirement. And from that, what you get are students who then take electives in AP drawing, or they can take an honors accounting class or a sports management and marketing class. So the classes that they need to take to graduate really help set them up for finding out what their passions are.
Thank you, Ms. Mooney. So what we have here is actually on the slide, the course samples. Red Bank provides some interesting classes that you might not find in anywhere else. For example, fashion marketing, because it is so close to one of the fashion centers in the world. Red Bank also offers a decent dual credit option through 2 colleges nearby. Dual credit is a rigorous course option for students with advanced knowledge. The course contents are equivalent to the freshman courses in college. So dual credit courses are quite challenging and even more difficult than AP courses sometimes. After students finish it, they will be able to get college credits and high school credits at the same time. Dual credit courses are popular among students. Not only do they make your college application stand out, probably very likely to make our international student TRIM's college application stand out, it also gives you some advantages over your peers who have not taken dual credit courses in high school. So because you can start your college study with some credits and no need to retake these courses. What is also cool about RBC is the virtual high school, in addition to all of the challenging and interesting courses provided through classroom instruction. And this is a platform where students can choose more courses, especially those that are more college major related. For example, cybersecurity. Red Bank has a very active community. Students love to do things and pay back to their school. Red Bank has numerous clubs, sports, and even internship program. Our international students are actively involved in many school activities. Ms. Mooney, maybe just to share one most popular, I guess, the most popular activity our international students like to join in Red Bank.
The most popular school club is actually the dance teams. We have 8 students who participate on the dance team, and they perform at the Friday night football games, and they also have their own competitions. So that's really a fun one.
So dance is really popular. We'll get that in a little bit. Yeah. So we're going to start with the STEM. STEM is a very popular major. I know a lot of students like to learn about that. Students can participate in robotics in Red Bank and learn practical skills through CAD class. So CAD is short for computer-aided design. In this class, students learn how to draw and create 3D models. The pictures we have here show a class project students did last year, actually. They were challenged to design a new face shield to better protect people from coronavirus. Very related to what we're having now, right? And also use less material if possible. Red Bank owns 3 3D printers, so students can actually turn their design into a prototype. We have a little video. We will not be able to watch all of it, but just want to give you a little bit sense of how how 3D printer make everything happen.
We're going to jump over and look at the 3D printer and get this thing started here. So this is our 3D printer. So I'm going to jump here. I'm going to hit play. Again, we got a couple minutes here. So again, what's going to happen here is this piece here is the hot end. That was that needle. And you can see that there's this kind of wire going to it. Inside that wire is plastic, which is seen right here. So this is the plastic, and there's a reel up on top. So that plastic is on a reel, and it goes down, and then it gets put in and pushed through the top of the hot end. All right.
We will provide a video link, so if anyone who's interested in knowing how the whole process looked like, make sure you save the link and watch it later. What a lot of our international students like is the dancing activity, as Ms. Mooney just said. Dancing is one of the very famous fine arts program in Red Bank. Students can take different levels of dancing classes, join a dance club, even be a member of the school dance company. So due to COVID, many of the dance performances were canceled last year, but our dance crew managed to do one performance in an open place this year. I want to play a little bit video to get everyone very excited about a dance program in RBC. All right, the whole video is a little bit long, but if anyone who wants to get a video, please reach out to us. We're more than happy to share this video. Credit to our student ambassador, Christina, who took this video and shared with us. Another unique academic opportunity is actually the Nest Watch. This is a collaboration between environmental science class and a Cornell lab. Students get experience for bird watching and inspiration for their college essays. So Red Bank students actually has been doing this research project for over 25 years. Of course, more clubs for students to participate in Red Bank. We want everyone to find things they're passionate about. Athletic program, everyone likes sports. Red Bank offers a lot of the sports. What they are very strong about is the football, girl tennis, girl gymnastics, golf, and hockey. Girl gymnastic team has won so many regional titles and state champs. They're so super strong. Many of the students athletes were recruited by top colleges in Red Bank. For example, University of Pennsylvania, Columbia University. Actually, we do have a student who signed a letter with Columbia University this year. And in the video that we will see in a second, students got into Duke and Lehigh University.
I think our program's heading in a great direction. We've got the best recruiting class, in a long time at Duke, and we're expecting some big things. We're just ready.
So every year in Red Bank, student athletes will have a big signing day. If you're interested, the video link will be provided in the chat box. Feel free to check out where students go, especially those student athletes. So Ms. Mooney, if you have to choose 3 words to describe Red Bank community, what would you choose?
Oh, only 3. I would say that the community is vibrant, it is loving, and it is smart.
Wow. I know Ms. Mooney will have a lot to say, but truly Red Bank is a loving and supportive and energetic community, just by seeing girls dancing and how much they practice every day, right? So they stay strong and positive to support each of the students to make sure they will be successful in their future study and career. This year, we also have some strong seniors graduating from Red Bank. Ms. Mooney is very proud. The whole team actually were very proud of the achievement they got and the college offers they received. Ms. Mooney, could you maybe just share a little bit about how Red Bank gets students prepared for the college track?
Sure. So our campus coordinators each have a specific role, and one of them, Miss Adriana Fernandez, who is a Cornell alum, works with our students along with Miss Katie Blue, who's the Amerigo Director of University Guidance, to sit with students and to talk through where they see themselves. And through our advanced network of colleges, as well as our knowledge about all the different schools in the US, we're really able to help students identify schools that would be a good fit for them, and schools that are their dream schools that they want to apply to. So this year, a number of universities, because of COVID, went test optional. And we don't see that trend changing anytime soon. So what that means is students really need strong academics, but they also need strong extracurricular activities. So we make sure as a campus that students are taking the most rigorous courses possible, and they are also supporting that with great university with great extracurricular activities, volunteer efforts, and taking SAT prep classes for when the time is appropriate to sit once again.
Thank you, Ms. Mooney. So here's part of the college acceptance from past 3 years, because RBC has a very strong faculty team to support the students. So we're not surprised to see some of the big names. And also our international students got into University of Toronto, Penn State, and some of the other great colleges this year. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Mooney.
No,
So
you're exactly right.
So Cornell, Duke, and Notre Dame are actually, I think, the three most popular top schools that RBC, Red Bank, has students get into almost every year. So I think this year we also have students going to UVA, University of Virginia, which is a top 26, I think, ranked top 26. And also I said, like, a student going to Columbia, and I think there's another student going to Duke that we already know their college offer. But because this is still the time that's not the college are releasing their results, so we're going to wait for a little bit more, and we will be happy to share with you more of those exciting news later on. All right, I've seen some of the questions from the chat box. I'm gonna read some of them. The first one, we have a question: is your school near New York? How close you would say, Ms. Mooney?
So we're about an hour and 15 minutes by train or ferry. It is a beautiful ferry ride. We live about 10 minutes from the boat that takes students either down to Wall Street, or they can stay on it, and there's another stop right next to the UN. And in non-COVID times, we do like to take students into New York City frequently. And then as students get older and travel with a buddy, they're welcome to go into New York City alone.
Yeah, and I want to add one thing, that actually the school Red Bank, they also have sometimes a field trip to New York City. Sometimes it could be a performance held in New York City as well. So the school actually itself offers some activities students can participate in New York City. It's just I would say like not one stop away, but it's very easy to get to New York City. And if you want to stay in a quiet environment for study, you can stay in the dorm, stay around the campus. It's super nice. The second question we have is, how many Vietnamese students are there at Red Bank Catholic?
Okay, so we have Moni, Val, Harry, Duke, Yet. I believe we have 8.
Yeah, we have 8 Vietnamese students in Red Bank, and we are definitely more than happy to welcome more of the Vietnamese students joining the community next year. So if you do have anyone who's interested, please let us know, or send a question, or reach out to us. Let me see if we have some more questions here.
I'm happy to speak about the COVID vaccinations to see if that's helpful.
Let me actually, I think this one is about COVID vaccination. Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. So, the state of New Jersey being so close to New York City, when the pandemic hit, New Jersey really suffered, and our governor did a very good job of reacting to the pandemic appropriately. And to that end, we have a number of vaccinations in the state. The entire New Jersey campus team is currently fully vaccinated, which is such a good feeling, I can tell you. I think there's a perception that a lot of Americans don't want to take the vaccination, but that's a really small number. And the science behind it, and the increasing amount of peer pressure from your friends to get vaccinated is real. A number of our students have started asking about when they too can get vaccinated. And we're putting a plan in place to vaccinate all students age 16 and above who would like to be vaccinated, hopefully before the end of this school year.
Thank you, Ms. Mooney. I think we have another question following the one that somebody asked about Vietnamese students. The question is, how many international students do we have in our boarding program? Not only Vietnamese students, actually we have students from, I think, 8 or 9 different countries, right?
Mm-hmm. So the New Jersey campus is incredibly diverse. We have about 9 countries represented and I think 11 languages. We have 25 boarding students this year. And they are from all over the world. We have a very loving residential program. Our students live in luxury apartments right on the beach. So we live in the town of Long Branch, which is about 15 minutes from RBC. And our students live in 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment homes. And what's really nice about the New Jersey campus is on our downstairs level, it's entirely commercial space. So there's a small 7-Eleven, which is a convenience store. There's a number of shops and restaurants. There's actually a Korean fusion restaurant going in downstairs. So we're all really excited about that. Coffee shops. And then the beach is across the street. It's not even across the street. It's right there. So we have a really nice environment for our boarding students.
Thank you. So this is another question related to the activities. Min from BNN asked, can you share more about the activities that outside of the school, like trips, volunteer, community works, charity, things like that nature? I know our campers definitely want to be as active as they want, and they were very active prior to pandemic. I know like Ms. Mooney and her team took students go to various recreational trip over the weekend. And because the school is actually, we live in New Jersey, right? We're not far from Princeton. I know we will take the student and we have taken them to University of Princeton. So students also get to do those college tour if we can plan for that. Anything else you want to add on that, Ms. Mooney?
Mm-hmm. We really try to use the environment that's around us for volunteer activities. So we are organizing a beach cleanup because it's where our home is. We want to take care of our beaches. And we really try to engage students on activities that they want to do. So for volunteering, we're going to volunteer at a local animal shelter. That's a nice way to stay socially distant and still give back. And then some activities we've just gotten creative with COVID. We rent out movie theaters. 2 weeks ago, we went to an escape room. We actually broke up into 2 groups and competed in an escape room, and that was a lot of fun. So we are our own little pod. We'll do things like that. And then when, in non-COVID times, we like to go into New York City. This is our spring break. So we have day trips planned for shopping into Philadelphia to see some universities, as well as into New York City to walk the High Line, which is a famous park.
Thank you, Ms. Mooney. I noticed there's another question asking about a national student rate. We can send you the number later if you just want to know how many students we have. But the whole Red Bank Catholic High School has roughly 700 students, and I think our international students they're only a small number. I think the rate should be under 5% for sure. The whole international student body compared with the domestic students. So students actually will be able to immerse into the community. They can improve and learn English and speak English as much as they want, and they will be taking classes with all of the domestic students and making friends with them. I think this is a really good environment for whoever really want to learn about American culture, experience American high school to join. So definitely we welcome more students to our New Jersey campus. I think that's all for our today, the workshop. Thank you so much, Ms. Mooney. Thanks for sharing with us. We really appreciate your team running 24/7, taking care of the students. And we want to see all of the next year, this year in the fall.
I would love it. The New Jersey students are so special, and I'm grateful to everyone for considering us as a place to send your students.
Thank you.
Thanks, Izzy.
Yeah. So our next workshop will start in a little bit. If anyone need to grab a drink or run to the bathroom, feel free to do so. Thank you very much. Thank you. Welcome back. Our second stop is Chicago, the third biggest city in the United States, actually. Chicago is the home to two top colleges, University of Chicago and Northwestern University. Our high school program, Carmel Catholic High School, is actually located in a nice, quiet neighborhood. That is about 1 hour drive to downtown Chicago and half-hour drive to the airport. In this virtual tour, we will be showing the school, talking about students' experience and how students get prepared for college track. Before we start, I want to introduce our guest speaker first. Owen is a senior in Carmel Catholic High School. He is an active Carmel community member. He is involved in many school activities, including clubs, sports, and National Honor Society. Owen, do you want to say hi and introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. I'm Owen Hodges. As Isabella said, I'm a senior here at Carmel Catholic. Very excited to be here with all of you today and let you guys learn a bit about myself and give you some insight into Carmel. It's a wonderful place to be.
Thank you, Owen. Next, I want to introduce you our Director of Campus Operation, Ms. Stacy. Her team takes care of all the international students in the dorm. She has been, and the whole team has been running 24/7 since the pandemic because we want to provide more support to those who choose to stay on campus to continue their study. Hey, Stacy, you want to say hi and introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Stacy Gottlieb. I'm the Director of Campus Operations at Chicago North Shore. Thank you all for joining us today. Carmel is an amazing school. I can't wait for you to learn all about that and all of the things that we do on campus for our students as well. So welcome.
Thank you. So without further ado, let's start our school tour. So this video will give you a bird's eye view of Carmel's facility. It is a huge school with 50 acres of the land. Get ready for that. Now we will guide you through the building.
This is our virtual tour of Carmel Catholic High School, and we're so fortunate to have this 3D model of the entire school. And we're going to walk through it today virtually with all of you and explain what Carmel has to offer your student or your children. So where we are in the building right now is the Fine Arts Wing. So we have several facilities that are very useful to anyone interested in the fine arts. So this is the entrance, this area over here. We have our graphic design studio. And then we have our choral music rooms where you have all types of singing classes and anything that interests your student with regard to singing. And then as we walk down the hallway, we have this beautiful mural that was installed and painted a couple of years ago. Absolutely gorgeous, and that really highlights the fine arts wing for Carmel students when they walk through. And then we have the black box, which is a multi-purpose room for all things fine arts. So Parkway Singers, which is one of the teams at Carmel for singing, performs here. Dance classes perform here, and even some regular like English classes will come in here if they have a big presentation to do. Even Amerigo, when they have come to school here, they've presented in this room. So it's a really huge multi-purpose room for Carmel. And then we'll keep walking down the hallway. At the very end of this hallway, we have our ceramics room. That's over here to the back left. But then when we turn right, on the left side of this hallway, we have the drawing rooms. So your painting and drawing classes will be here. And then right here on this door on the right, hopefully we get to see inside, we have the photo lab for any of your photography classes. So you'll be able to come in here into the dark room and be able to produce any pieces of photography you want. So again, Carmel has some really great facilities for all types of fine arts classes at Carmel. So if you ever want to look at what the curriculum offers at Carmel, please look at the curriculum guide on the Carmel website and see what interests you. Then I'm going to give it over to Isabella, and she is going to cover the normal classrooms at Carmel.
Thanks, Owen. So now we are going to be moving into the foreign language hallway, which is right next to the fine arts wing. And in this hallway, we have mostly Spanish classes, and this is one of the examples of a foreign language classroom. This classroom is also similar to what most of the classrooms look like at Carmel now. We recently renovated the building, so all of the classrooms have brand new furniture, as well as new carpeting and new whiteboards. At Carmel, students have an opportunity to take 4 different foreign languages, including Spanish, French, Mandarin Chinese, and Latin. In addition to this, there are clubs and national honor societies for each of these languages, which gives students a really awesome opportunity to be able to talk to other students in a different language and get to know them better. And also, in general, here are some of our hallways. So all of the school is connected by a series of hallways, and most of the classrooms look very similar to the one that we were just in. Some of them have certain features and things, but for the most part, that's exactly what they look like, with certain specifications for what each teacher would prefer, which helps them to really just pick out what they need to best help their students in each class. So sometimes English classrooms look different than Spanish classrooms, and engineering or business classrooms may look different than, say, a gym classroom. Now I'll pass back off to Owen, who is going to talk to you about the science hallway.
Yeah, so while Isabella is speaking, I am going through our model and proceeding to the science hallway, which is this long hallway. So throughout this entire hallway, all the science classes at Carmel are taught. So this side of the school is for biology. And then when you get to the middle side of this classroom, the middle of this hallway, you have the chemistry classes, the forensic science classes, the elective classes. Then at the very end of the hallway, we have our physics classes. So unlike many schools in the area, Carmel teaches physics in the freshman year and biology in the junior year. Normally it's flipped, where schools teach biology in the freshman year and physics in the junior year. We believe that offering physics in the freshman year really prepares the student for the academic rigors of science at Carmel, because physics is a really mathematics heavy class, and the faculty that teaches physics and all the sciences in general are very, very good at what they do. They are always willing to help and are always ready to answer questions on the spot. And I have firsthand experience after taking 2.5 years of chemistry here at Carmel, 2 years of physics, and 1 year of biology. I've been very ingrained in the science department here at Carmel. But if you want to see an example of one of the see if we have an example of one of the science rooms. We do. Here we have an example of what a chemistry laboratory looks like. So we have our laptops where labs will be performed on these surfaces. We have in the very back of the hood where chemicals are put if they exude potentially dangerous chemicals. We don't want to get that in the classroom and the circulation. And then we have the front of the classroom, our desks, where students obviously will learn for the bulk of the time. But these classrooms are very versatile, and you can learn all about science in all sorts of ways, hands-on and as a student in your desk doing normal learning in front of the class. Now I'm going to go back to Isabella, and she's going to give insight into the amazing engineering program here at Carmel.
Yeah, the engineering program is really amazing. Right now we're in one of the engineering classrooms, and this was also recently renovated. The engineering program at Carmel is really robust. There's enough for over 4 years of classes if you choose to take them, and they include specialized classes in digital electronics, aerospace engineering, and civil engineering. Carmel is really proud of their engineering department. They're all dual credit classes through the Project Lead the Way group, which is a big part of a lot of engineering programs across the country in high schools. And in general, the engineering classes at Carmel are really strong and provide kids a lot of hands-on engineering practice, which is really amazing for people like me who are interested in becoming engineers. And it's just a really cool place to learn. In this hallway, we also have the business classrooms. We're in one of those classrooms now. Carmel also has an extremely robust business program, which includes the top-level business incubator class, which is normally held in this room. And it's similar to the TV show Shark Tank, where students actually develop their own businesses and products and can actually pitch them to potential investors and actually create their own business. There are a lot of hands-on ability activities and things that students can participate in this hallway, both business and engineering. And this really helps kids be prepared to succeed in college and in their careers. Now I will pass it back off to Owen, who's going to take us through a few more parts of the school.
Yes, so what we're going to go to the information commons first, but first we're going to stop in the 400 hallway, which contains many useful resources for your students. So the 400 hallway does not have classes, unlike all the other hallways. It contains college resources, it contains counselors. So this is the College Resource Center. So if you decide to go to college in the United States, or even abroad, the college counselor, Mr. Barger here, will help you out with the college process, as I have just gone through in the past few months. And then we're now going to go to the IC. This is the Information Commons, which is the somewhat of a library at Carmel. It's more of a place you can rent books out, but it's more of a place for students to study. This is where study hall occurs. It's a place for students to take a breather before and after school and get some work done. But it's a very modern looking room. There's a lot of things happening here. We record our daily news broadcasts. The media classes occur in here, such as journalism and the Carmel Digital Network, a news production team, has their class in here. And there's also a side classroom here, which depends on what class you're in, but computer science is offered at Carmel. So computer science may occur in this classroom, which again has the very unique desk arrangement. Each class has their own desk arrangement depending on the preference of the teacher. So every classroom is unique here at Carmel. So every room is different, so you'll feel in a new environment every class, and that can be a good thing, to not be in the same place at all times. So going to Carmel is actually very exciting, and learning is very, very fun. But yes, this is the IC. And now we are going to go back to Isabella. She's going to give a tour of the gymnasium, and we're going to talk about the weight room, which is brand new, and we're excited to introduce that to you.
Yeah, so here at Carmel, we're not just focused on academics, but we also have a really awesome sports facilities for all of our students, as well as a variety of different sports you can take as a student here. So we recently renovated the fitness center and introduced an entirely new weight room in addition to the 2 existing gyms. So the weight room is open to all students and faculty as well, and they can use it to work out It's especially going to be used for students that are training for any kind of sports or activities in, and it's just above the gym. So the main gym, the Salvi Arena, is right here. And as you can see, it's very nice and big and open. And it's just a really cool place. This is where we also have mass and any of our big school assemblies. So it's really just sort of the gathering place for the whole school. And it's a really great place to just cheer on your friends or gather together and celebrate all kinds of activities. And now we're going to head upstairs actually and take a look at the recently renovated brand new weight room, which is a really exciting addition to the school and really for everybody because it's brand new and we're getting the chance to use it the very first time. It's really cutting edge and amazing once we get to take a look at it.
So as we wait, the gymnasium is the newest addition to Carmel Catholic. It is and it's truly remarkable for any of your children that want to attend Carmel and desire to participate in a sport. It's okay. Right here we go. All right, now that the music is gone, we can commence. There we go. So this is the brand new gymnasium. Hopefully you can see it well, but we obviously have very customized equipment here, a lot of equipment. So this is not a small gymnasium. This took up what used to be the wrestling room, so it is a very long room that is just above the Salvi Arena that we were just in. So if you can see the windows in the very back of the room this overlooks the Salvi Arena. So it really gives you that college feeling in a high school. You really feel that your school cares about your athletic endeavors because they invest so much into their athletes. I, for one, play baseball and very much enjoying being able to use this equipment and being able to better myself outside of baseball, and so I can do better inside the game. So this is truly a remarkable investment by Carmel, and we're proud to show this off now as this is new last year in November of 2020. Now,
So that's a very sweet school tour led by Owen, actually our guest speaker, and his classmate Isabella. I'm sure some of our audience, after they watch the school tour, they might have this question. What made you choose Carmel when you look for a high school?
yeah, so Carmel's the Chicago North Shore campus, but I live in Gurnee. It's slightly about an hour north of Chicago. And so Warren Township High School is my other high school. It's our public high school. And it was always an easy decision because Carmel, I believe it instills the best values out of every high school in the region. I've gone to Catholic schools my entire life, so faith is a big, important thing to me. But on top of that, just everyone at Carmel's are very respectful. The atmosphere there's a lot of community. Just today we had a huge Stations of the Cross event, so that was good to be able to act out the stations in front of the entire school with a bunch of my classmates. And the school just does a lot for the kids, from going in person all year. That was a very hard feat for them to accomplish, so that you can tell they're dedicated to their students. So Carmel was always an easy choice for me, and it wasn't my parents' choice. They gave it to me, and from the beginning decided Carmel was it. And for baseball, because they have a really good baseball team. That's what I play, but that'll be later.
Thank you, Owen. So certainly, I know academics is what most families and students will check out when they look for high school program, right? As Owen said, like it's an easy decision because Carmel is so strong, so reputable in the local areas. So here are some numbers showing Carmel's strong academic program. When we talk about academics, right? In total, Carmel provides over 100 AP and honors courses. In addition, there are 22 dual credit courses available for students to choose and to boost their academic rigor. So you can do your own math. How many courses Carmel offer, challenging courses offer in total? Each year, a few of Carmel students will also get a perfect ACT score. Actually, the other student, Isabella, in the school tour video, she recently got a perfect ACT score, 36. Which is really a great, remarkable academic achievement. 180 students were introduced to National Honor Society last year. It just shows you how many strong students you will be meet in Carmel. And if you are also really into learning more, I think Carmel is the community, is the program you wanna get in. So Carmel's community is very supportive, and we want every student to reach their academic potential and be successful. Owen, I know you have taken some of the challenging courses in Carmel. Would you please share your academic experience?
Yeah, so academics are probably the most important thing to me. My mom's a teacher, so it's always been like that from the day I was born. But at Carmel, I've taken, I think now 7 AP courses. I've taken 2 dual credit courses. But so going into my freshman year, I think going into high school from 8th grade is a difficult transition because you don't have the work ethic instilled in you yet. You're uncomfortable with not knowing the people in your community. But after going through freshman year, struggling at times, finding my place in the community, sophomore year is where I really settled in. And I had one specific class, which was my honors world history class, which for sophomores is a very mature course because it was 100% lecture, a lot of writing, and I really learned to love school and to love history specifically. And so that course itself, and just that year, I learned a lot about myself and was able to take that into my junior year, where I took 2 AP classes, AP Chemistry and AP US History. And for those who don't know, AP classes are it's an abbreviation for advanced placement, and they can give you college credit for getting a high passing score on what is called the AP exam, which takes place at the end of the year. AP is sponsored by the organization, the College Board, and it's a standardized test throughout all schools in the nation that give AP exams. And again, you can get college credit. And then I also took that AP chemistry class I took junior year was also a dual credit class as well. So that it was dual credit through the Loyola University of Chicago. So that is guaranteed college credit regardless of if I take the AP exam. So that was very helpful, and it helped me get into the college that I'm going into next year. And now senior year, going into the year, I was thinking I was going to be an engineer, but I ended up applying to all my schools for biochemistry. So I decided to take AP Physics, which is my least favorite class ever. But wow, I really did enjoy it this year. Mr. Zell, my teacher, one interesting story, it tells you how dedicated the teachers are to you. I remember we were having a homework assignment, and I just didn't get this one problem. And he calls me, and it was like 8 at night, and I was emailing him for help. And he calls me and helps me through the problem. And I was like shocked because that's never happened to me before. That was an experience for sure, but that was memorable. And it really does show you that everyone at Carmel, especially the teachers, care about the students' progress and their development. And now that it's second semester, school's opening up, academics are going well, and I'm ready for a successful end of the school year. So these are all the classes before you. I've taken many of these classes, and there's something for everyone, from business that you've seen, engineering. Isabella, if she was here, who is the girl on the tour, give endless advice on the engineering program, especially the robotics program that we'll go into later. But there's everything for everyone, and I hope you ask some questions if you're interested in any of these programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Owen. So Owen shared a lot about his academic experience, especially like what are the courses he took and what are the courses he's taking as a senior. And he also explained the dual credit option. So one thing that I want to point out is there's a lot of dual credit courses options for engineering classes. If you're into engineering, extra point, you can take the courses and also get college credit. So academics is just one among so many great things Carmel can offer. I'm sure many of you guys students who attend Carmel want to talk about its various student groups and extracurriculars. Owen will showcase some of the popular activities and sports in a little bit. But first, Owen, maybe just to tell us the current activities or like, let's see, your favorite school activities you participate.
For sure. So for sports, just to start off there, you saw on the campus overview the baseball field. I've played baseball for 4 years, and I've played baseball for 10 years total in my life. And I love my team. I'm the team captain this year. That was an honor, being able to lead my team. We start the season in not this Monday, but the Monday after, so that's exciting. So yeah, baseball has been a huge part of my Carmel experience. But then, other than that, you'll see later another thing. I'm involved in the Carmel Digital Network, which is our tech program at Carmel, where we broadcast news to the school. I write the announcements every morning as well as the daily prayers. So I'm involved in the tech aspect. And then I'm also the president and founder of the Science National Honor Society. And again, if Isabella were here, which I wish she was able to make it because she's an awesome person to do this with, she's the secretary of my National Science Honor Society. So that provides tutoring, monthly labs, as well as meetings and speakers to members of the 70 plus members of my honor society. But those are some things. But I started up an honor society in the middle of COVID, and if that tells you anything, you can do anything. You can start up anything that interests you. I've seen bowling clubs, chess clubs, anything you can name it. So if you're passionate about it, pursue it. If you're passionate about sports, try out, even if you're not good. I thought I was really good at baseball. It turns out I'm average to probably below average, but I still have fun every game. So, but yeah, Carmel has everything. It truly is. I could not speak any better about it, and I'm so glad my parents have sent me here. But we'll talk more about Carmel experience.
Thank you. So actually, one of the very popular student activity is robotic in Carmel, right? So I'm gonna play the video a little bit, and Owen, you want to talk a little bit about robotics on behalf of Isabella. I know she is a member in robotics, but she couldn't be here tonight.
I like being a member of the robotics team because it allows me to explore my interests in the field of engineering, and it also allows me to gain experience working as a group, which is super beneficial for the future because a lot of work that's done in the engineering field is often done in groups or teams.
We will have the video link in the chat box, so make sure you check out the whole video if you want to learn more about the Carmel robotic team. Owen, do you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so I'm personally not a member of the robotics team, but it does, on the bottom left corner of your screen, you can say it says World Champs of 2019, and that is legitimate. They were the best robotics team in the entire world in 2019. Isabella could give you a lot more information on this, but in 2021, we have a completely dedicated robotics classroom. So, God, there's so much going on in that room, from parts to robots all around the place to an entire corner dedicated to the business side of things. So, if you're a business-minded person, there's something in robotics for you because you need to be able to market the robotics team. There's also some finance to it. You have to fund the robotics team. It's definitely a team project from what I've seen and what I've heard. But the robotics program, as well as the engineering program, which is really one of a kind, from aerospace engineering to digital electronics, the engineering department at Carmel is spectacular, and they have the resume to prove it.
Thank you. So this is actually the Carmel Digital Network, as Owen talked a little bit about earlier. So we're gonna just watch a little bit of the news broadcast Owen recorded.
Good morning, Carmel Catholic. Welcome to our broadcast of Carmel Digital Network Student News that's finally on a Tuesday, back on schedule. I'm Owen Hodges.
And I'm Michaela Miller. We have a terrific show planned for you all today. First, we have some announcements covering the happenings at Carmel this week.
All students are invited to meet up at Wilmot on February 10th after taking care of their remote learning responsibilities. You must purchase your own lift ticket, make a reservation, and are responsible for your own transportation. If you are under 18 and need to rent equipment, then you need to get a parent to sign the rental form in advance. Take a picture of a flyer or see Mr. Paisley or Mr. Rank in the math hallway for more details.
There will be a practice session Zoom meeting for Scholastic Bowl on Wednesday, February 3rd at 12:20 p.m. Check the classroom page for details.
So again, the whole video link will be shared in the chat box. If you just want to know like how did that look like and how to participate, also please submit your question in the chat box. We will be happy to answer that later. So of course, there's a lot of clubs for you to choose from. As Owen mentioned, like he himself is involved in many of the different school activities. But I guess we're gonna jump into sports because everyone loves sports. Owen, do you want to share a little bit more about sports participation in Carmel?
Yeah, so I've only been participated in baseball, but you saw during the tour the Carmel weight room, and when I think of sports, the first thing I think of now is the Carmel weight room, which is better than most public and private universities, for that matter. And that really sets the tone for how Carmel does during the season. So I know the football season's underway right now in the middle of COVID, thank God, because we need some entertainment. They won their first game, and they have a game this Saturday, and we're all going to go watch it. So football is the biggest sport at most U.S. High schools. It's a tradition. Most Friday nights pre-COVID, we have the football games to go to. All the parents go. Nearly every single student goes. It's truly a fantastic experience. Then basketball during the fall unfortunately ended already, but that's another amazing sport to watch. Carmel's known with regard to their sports, for wrestling. We had Riley Palm, who graduated I think 2 years ago now, was the 2-time state champion in wrestling. That is he'll be he's a Carmel legend already, and he's only been graduated for 2 years. As well as Carmel's always had a really good gymnastics team. But other than that, soccer, volleyball, all these sports here, there's something for everyone. And just pursue it. If you're passionate about something, if you're interested in something, try out for it. And if it's not for you, then it's not for you. Try out for something the next year. And then sports are also good for college applications. I saw some questions in the chat about college applications, and I'm sure we'll get into that, especially my story. But sports are great for you in between academics, relieve stress, and Carmel has some of the best sports in the region. So please pursue your interest.
Thank you, Owen. So the next question, we're going to keep this very short. Use 3 words to describe Carmel's community. I
should have prepared this because I can't ad-lib this. I'd say community is the first one. The people at Carmel are just so loving. They respect one another. That's what attracted me so much, as opposed to the public high schools, where everyone's they feel kind of forced to be next to each other. But everyone just loves to be in the environment at Carmel. They're passionate about their classes. They're passionate about the other people. So a community, faith, obviously, Carmel Catholic High School. We're all very grounded in our faith, and even if you aren't Catholic, you can see it just shows in the attitudes of the children. I already mentioned respect. I always mentioned caring, just mutual, just love for each other. And then I'd say passion. Passion's a good third word. For academics, those if you don't like sports, the kids who don't like sports are really passionate about their academics and they excel in it. Kids who aren't so passionate about academics excel in their sports. Kids who are passionate about both excel in both. That's really about what Carmel. Carmel has no weaknesses. So those are the three.
Thank you, Owen. I know we have some question about college application. We're gonna get to that question now. So could you also share how Carmel gets you prepared for the college track? And I know this year Owen was admitted to West Point, and he also got offer from University of Michigan. And what we have here on this slide is some of the college acceptance Carmel students got in the past 3 years. But we want to hear, Owen, your story and maybe some of the very strong offer that your friends received this year as well.
For sure. So the United States Military Academy at West Point, it's the oldest military base in the United States. It played a pivotal role in the Revolutionary War. And now it's one of the, if not the most esteemed military academy in the United States. Two of the most famous American generals attended it. And my father served in the U.S. military, as well as just my passion for leadership that drove me to attend West Point. But the application process is nothing like any other university because it's a long process, but you have to apply for a nomination from a member of Congress. You have to pass physical exams, medical exams. It's a year-long process as opposed to a normal 3-month-long process. But for my other schools, like University of Michigan, the college application process starts freshman year. Finding your base classes, doing well in your base classes, because your first semester freshman class is just as important as the last class of your senior year. It's a 4-year process getting into a college, so you really need to work hard and have that drive. So I'd say freshman year, do excel in your already laid out classes. Sophomore year, find something that interests you. Junior year, really, that's when you get the freedom of picking the classes that fascinate you. And that's where you really outline who you want to be in your college application. If you want to apply for a biochemistry degree, which I happen to do at every school besides West Point, because you don't choose majors there. Long story again. That's right. I did chemistry. I've taken 2.5 years of chemistry at Carmel, so that really showed who I was on the academic side. But then extracurriculars. One thing that I was really nervous about, especially going to West Point, it's a military academy, so they're big on leadership. I didn't really have any leadership going into senior year, but if you put yourself out, if you ask for positions, if you try to innovate, you can get yourself leadership and demonstrate your abilities on your college application. And then sports are very important into getting into these universities, but regardless of who you are as a student, the counselors are there to help you. I think we have 7 counselors at Carmel, as well as a specific college counselor, who are truly an amazing, dedicated team of individuals who put in hour after hour getting your forms in, because that is the most stressful part of college applications, getting everything in and over to a separate entity. But they're all here for you, as are all the other teachers at Carmel. And Isabella also mentioned I have a friend who, I don't see the school on here right now, that just got accepted into the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT, which is the #1 engineering school in the United States, about a 6% acceptance rate. He's a good friend of mine, so that was really impressive. So as the college acceptances roll in, they continue to roll in with Ivy Day, so all the Ivy League admissions come out on the 6th. I'm sure we'll see a bunch of interesting acceptances. But college prepares you for Carmel prepares you for college, and if anyone knows, I believe I know after this year-long process. But it's something else. And if you have any more specific questions, please feel free to ask.
Thank you. And as everyone here that all of the students, actually, all the senior class will get well supported by the school counselors. We have 7 school counselors in Carmel Catholic High School, and that's why students will be able to get into their dream college, like Owen's classmate who just got into MIT. What we have here, the college acceptance are from the past 3 years. I'm sure once more of the college results are out, we will be able to update it, and we will be impressed by how well Carmel Catholic students have been doing this year. So hopefully everyone get to their dream school. So we don't have a lot of time left, but we're gonna take one question. And I think this one will be a good one, talking about extracurricular. I know, Owen, you participate in a lot. Stacey, if you want to chime in, feel free. Is there a limit on how many activities a sports student can participate in a school?
The most our students have done is 2 sports a year out of the 3 seasons. Clubs, I have a student now who is in about 6, 7 clubs, so I don't think there's a limit, but sometimes they often meet at the same times, so that can be challenging. But we encourage all our students to participate in a minimum of 1 extracurricular a school year. But like I said, most of ours are participating in 2 to 3 extracurriculars, if not more than that, because there are so many options for our students at Carmel. We have 3 students who are participating in tryouts right now for the season. One who's never picked up a tennis racket is going to be trying out for the tennis team. So students are, encouraged to try new things and participate in clubs and activities that they know they enjoy as well.
Thank you, Stacey. Since we only have this session booked for 45 minutes, I know we have more questions, and we would like to share more if we have more time. But thank you everyone for joining us today, and feel free to reach out to us, send us emails, any of their questions. I'm sure we're happy to get the answer to you. So thank you so much, Owen. Thank you so much, Stacey, for joining us today.
Easy. Sorry, I think we have a few minutes left for. Actually. Yes, I think we have a few more.
Oh, you sure? Okay.
More minutes. Yeah.
Sure. Sorry, I thought we are running out of time. All right. So, Owen, any good insights from your side about joining the school clubs or school sports?
Yeah. There are no restrictions on how many things you do. It's a personal limit based on your time and your dedication and how much you're really passionate about the things, but there's no limit whatsoever. But there's one question. Isabella, am I able to answer this one question about the robotics team?
Yes, go ahead.
So there's 2 robotics teams. I actually believe there might be making a 3rd. If not, there's already a 3rd. The varsity, there's a varsity and a junior varsity team. I believe the varsity team is you have to try out. There are cuts. It's a very competitive team because world champions. But then the JV team, I believe it's because I'm not involved. I'm not the best source, but I don't believe there are any cuts. I believe everyone makes the team if they're interested. But if you're passionate, if you like robotics, they'll make room for you. I know that for sure. That's just what Carmel does. It's what they're all about.
Owen is correct. We have some students who had never done robotics before, so they're on the nerd team. What's the nerd team called? I always forget.
Not nerds. It's nerd cubed or something like that.
And then we have 2 students who are on the varsity team as well, who came to us with a lot of robotics experience. So there is definitely levels for all students.
Thank you. I hope that answered the question about robotics. And I see another question from Ming. So he or she is asking, looks like Carmel really focused on the STEM subjects and they got the best results. What about other subjects that students might want to learn, such as hospitality, tourism, language, astronomy, agriculture? So I know Carmel actually offers a lot of the subjects like courses. It's just because we only have 45 minutes to showcase Carmel, so we won't be able to get into every detail. But for some of the subjects you mentioned, language, one thing that our student ambassador Isabella mentioned, that Carmel offers 4 foreign language. Students can learn Spanish, Mandarin Chinese. What are the other 2 she mentioned? Latin
and Mandarin.
Yeah. So definitely a lot of the chances for students who want to learn a second language. And aerospace engineering is actually one of the very popular, classes in Carmel as well. I don't know if Owen, you know anything about aerospace or astronomy that you want to share.
Yeah, so out of all those things she listed, I know I mentioned aerospace. They're astronomy. I don't know if they're offering it right now because not enough people want to take it. But I know they have offered it in the past, and I know we actually have an astronaut at the on staff at Carmel. So there's definitely people there for reference if you like astronomy. As for some of the more niche, I'd say classes like hospitality and tourism. I'd say high school it's more like a baseline fundamental education where you get into the nitty gritty of the subjects. As you get into college, that's where you really branch off into the specifics. But as for those subjects, I don't think there's really anything at Carmel, or I'd say any high schools in general, to really satisfy those classes. But I know Carmel's a very hospitable atmosphere for sure. And then languages, there's 4 languages: Mandarin, French, Spanish, English, if you consider that a language, and Latin. And then, yeah, I think that was it for all the subjects listed. But yeah.
One thing that we were not able to show is actually business. Business is also a very popular subject in Carmel Catholic High School. Indeed, it has a very strong business incubator program, which I think Isabella mentioned a little bit when she's showing the business classroom in the school tour. It looks like a conference room to give the student the atmosphere of like a real company. So you're not sitting in a traditional classroom. You're actually like having a meeting like with a bunch of the board members. Think about that. And students get to really apply their knowledge about business into the real world. Every year, Carmel will organize a business pitch night. Students will be able to present their business ideas and compete for the funds to actually start their business, which is super motivating, I think, as a high school student. And I know in the past, Carmel Catholic high school students successfully built companies, by their own, of course, with the support of the Carmel's, amazing faculty member. They got their patent registered. They actually, design and made a prototype, the actual, thing, whatever the product they want to market, which is super fun. So if you're into business, join Carmel Catholic High School, you will be able to meet bunch of the students with the common interest, with the same passion for business study in the future, and you can team together, try to bring your idea into reality, or even change the world. Think big, So let's see if we do have time to take one more question. Jonas, do we have time to take more questions?
I'm sorry,
Okay.
we don't.
All right,
yeah.
Now we officially run out of time.
Yeah, thank you so much, Owen and Stacy. I know it's very late over there. It was a great session that you guys presented. Have a good night, and we hope to see you soon again.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye. All right, everyone. So after Chicago, now we are at our last stop for today. That would be Napa Valley, California. And we have our guest speaker from, our Napa campus. And I will pass the host on to Stephanie. Hey, Kevin.
Okay, thank you. Jonas, please also promote Ashley in the attendee list, and she will also be in the panelist room as well. Okay, let me share my screen. Hi, my name is Stephanie, and I'm the campus recruitment manager for Justin Siena High School. It's been a really pleasure to meet you all, and thank you so much for joining us. Before we start, I would like to let you know what we're going to talk about today. So first, our 2 student representatives from Justin Siena, Kyla the Guzman and Ashley Mills are here today. So girls, you want to say hi to everyone?
Hi, my name is Kayla D. Guzman. I am a junior at Justin Siena, and I participate in various clubs throughout the campus and even the president of the mock trial team.
Hi, I'm Ashlyn, and I'm a senior at Justin Siena, and I'm in various clubs as well as a student ambassador.
Thank you. And they will be able to give us some more school information later and answer any questions you have at the end of this presentation. And then our Director of Campus Operations, Mr. Kevin Dolan, is also here with us, and he will get us through a virtual dorm tour and meet our Amerigo students and our campus coordinator, Mr. Tony Soto. So now let's just get started. Before we get everything started, so I would like to give you an idea of where the school is located. Justin Siena High School is located in a beautiful city called Napa, and it's located at Northern California and is famous for its wine. There are tons of elite university resources around the school. For example, Stanford University, which is ranked number 6 in U.S. News and World Report, and UC Berkeley and UC Davis, and more. Transportation are also very convenient, and we are also close to 2 major international airports, and San Francisco International Airport, which is over here, and the San Jose International Airport, which is located here. Both have direct flights to major cities around the world. So, and within 6 minutes drive from the school, there are police department, fire department, downtown Napa district, and public library, which means the school is located in a safe and convenient area. So now let's just welcome Aisling to take us to a virtual school tour.
Hi, yeah, so we have a video to show you guys that was done before COVID. So that explains why there are no masks or anything being worn in the video. Just showing our campus and some student life.
Hi there, my name is Alina. I'm a sophomore and I graduated at Holy Spirit in Fairfield.
Welcome to Justin Siena. My name is Simon. I'm a senior here at Justin. I went to River Middle School right here in Napa.
Sitting on 40 acres in the Napa Valley, we opened in 1966 and are sponsored by the De La Salle Christian Brothers.
If you ride the bus, this is where you'll get dropped off.
There are 7 buses that go to 3 counties, Sonoma, Solano, and Napa. At Justin Siena, we start at 9 a.m. and offer 34 honors and advanced placement courses in all subjects so that you can pursue your passion.
As a LaSallian Catholic school, our mission is to provide a superior academic experience in a loving, Christ-centered community that prepares students to serve in an ever-changing world.
Our tour begins at Dodd Stadium, home of the Braves. Dodd Stadium is named after longtime Justin Siena supporters, the Dodd family. Justin Siena alum, Bill Dodd of 74, is a California state senator. Here we are at the Grove, which is surrounded by our always busy fitness center and our baseball and softball fields.
This is Patrons Plaza, the Center for Student Life,
where we come to be all heart through service, leadership, and faith.
The Napa School of Music is where our instrumental classes and choral classes are located.
Like all of our courses on campus, they are college prep and UC approved. Welcome to Clark Gym. Clark Gym is home to Justin Siena volleyball and basketball, as well as our full-time athletic trainer. We also have school gatherings, rallies, and our annual Crab Fest here. Braves Athletics supports nearly 400 student athletes on 33 teams and are winners of 59 NCS championships and over 140 league championships. We move players on to the college level every year. Hungry? Come on over to the dining hall to find a wide variety of fresh, affordable, and tasty food. Make sure to try the Bassett's famous chocolate chip cookies.
They're delicious. This is our senior lawn. Here our seniors bond as a class through socializing, studying, and playing games.
This is Siena Hall, home to one of the best visual and performing arts programs in Northern California. We put on 5 productions each year, like our comedy sports improv show.
Dedicated in 2001, the Gaster, as we like to call it, serves as our center point of study and research on campus.
Here you'll find our engineering department, which is home to our 4-year engineering program classes, our 3 robotics teams, and even a 3D printer.
This is our college counseling department. Annually, almost 100% of our students go to college. This year, the class of 2020 earned $9.1 million in scholarships. That comes out to over $74,000 each student. Our counseling ratio is less than 180 to 1. At many other schools, it is triple that. Our counselors are the best.
Out here is our North Lawn. This is where we hold two of our biggest events, graduation and Founders Day. If you're interested in taking a tour in person, please contact our admissions team.
Thanks for watching. We hope to see you here as a Justin Siena Brave.
Thank you. And actually, I know the school is now back to like 4 days per week. And I know that you are already physically at the school, like taking classes. And also you are participating in this tennis team, and you are playing as a varsity team captain, which is awesome. So could you please also share with us some of like how you are taking the classes right now, what the school looks like? I had this video that was just recorded before, and I can play this video mute and while you're talking.
Yeah, perfect. So I can go ahead and narrate while you play the next video.
Okay.
So obviously COVID has changed a lot of things for everyone all over the world, but Justin Siena has been trying their best to work around these obstacles and continue to give us an environment where we can still learn. So we started out at the beginning of the year in hybrid learning, where we attended class in person 2 days a week and online 2 days a week. But now we have shifted into full in person for 4 days a week, while we still get a day off on Wednesday called a Wellness Wednesday, where we can meet with teachers and discuss important things that we need to do. So we're back now 4 days a week, and most sports are in person, and everyone is required to wear a mask at all times. And every classroom has been set up so that students are 3 feet apart according to CDC guidelines. And every student wears a mask and social distance and practices social distancing. So we are still able to have a somewhat normal environment during these times, which is a lot compared to most schools right now, especially public schools who are still mostly online for the extent of it. So Justin Siena has been doing a really good job with that. And we're starting to see more and more sports come back. This week we had basketball start and baseball start as well. So we're getting to see a lot more faces on campus. As long as people are social distancing and wearing their masks, it's starting to look more normal. And in addition to this, most of our teachers are now vaccinated fully. So it's a safe environment for them as well.
That sounds really exciting. Thanks so much, Ashley, for sharing about that. And now let's just welcome Kyla to talk about some school highlights.
Yeah, so we'll start off with our prestigious student outcomes. So Justin Siena has consistent admissions to Ivy League universities every year. And in 2019, 70% of our students were admitted to the University of California school system. This is done with the aid of college counseling department that really makes sure that the school students apply to are what's fit for them and their educational goals and the community they look for, rather than the student trying to fit into the school. And the teachers at Justin Siena have an overall experience of 17 years, and some have even been teaching on the campus for an average of 12 years. Now, in Justin Siena, we also have the best visual and performing arts program in Northern California, with 18 visual and performing arts classes taught by professionals and 5 theatrical productions every year. The students really have the opportunity to venture out to different parts of arts, such as theater, film, choir, and physical arts, such as painting. And these departments have partnered with professional organizations such as the National Arts Honor Society and the Napa Film Festival to teach students in various different ways and using the resources Justin Siena has to offer. And at Justin Siena, we have Project Lead the Way, and we're an extinguished school at it. So Project Lead the Way is this hands-on based curriculum centering around the STEM field. At Justin Siena, we're focusing on engineering, and the classes listed on the screen are available to students at the start of freshman year and can be taken up until they graduate. At Justin Siena, we also have a robotics and mock trial team. And so 3 of our robotics teams are in the First Tech Challenge Robotics League. And so in the First Tech Challenge Robotics League, it challenges students to innovate and share ideas along with knowing the base principles of engineering to apply to when creating their robots together. We also have a mock trial team, and we recently just participated in in the California State Finals and ranked 19th out of 35 schools and over 500 kids participating. As a team, we have won our Napa annual county competitions for the past 8 years. And being a part of the mock trial team, I've learned how to public speak and be able to think on my feet and critically argue anything that's pretty much being thrown my way. We also have our on-campus dorm room. The resident halls are located directly on campus, as shown by Mr. Dolan later on. We also have an off-campus option for students as well. The dorm is beautiful. It has a pool and basketball court and a professional chef that makes all student dinners. As someone who's visited there a few times to hang out with my friends who live there, I can say that it really does feel like a home away for the students because the environment is so close as they watch out for each other. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kyla. It's amazing, amazing sharing. Thank you so much. And to get more, to amend on what Kyla talked about, like the visual and performing arts, I definitely want to take this chance to introduce you with our director of performing arts, Mr. Thomas Bailey. And he is actually, he has produced more than 50 shows in Los Angeles and served as the creative consultant and the trainer for Universal Studios, Walt Disney, and ABC News and Coca-Cola, some big name companies. So Mr. Bailey also served as a cultural specialist for the US Department of State. So he really has a great reputation and many, many resources in this field. And last year in one of our, film study courses, we're doing like virtual classes that time, and he invited a special guest. His name is Mr. Cinco Po to the class. So the Mr. Cinco Po just come attend this virtual class, and he was able to share his personal experience being a screenwriter, and he has some famous animation show. The name is Despicable Me series and The Secret Life of Pets. I bet a lot of you have watched this famous animation before. So inspired by Mr. Cinco Po, one of our Amerigo students whose name is Si Cheng Guo, you can see him on the upper right here. He knows that Mr. Cinco Po graduated from USC, and guess what? He applied to USC that year, and he is now a Trojan and is now a freshman student at the University of San Francisco, Southern California. So it's an awesome experience for all our students with such a strong faculty team. So now I just pass the microphone to our Director of Campus Operations, Mr. Kevin Dolan, to take us to a virtual dorm tour. So Kevin, let me.
Sure. Yeah, no, thank you so much. First, I wanted to say, Kayla and Ashlyn, awesome job. I know that's not easy to public speak like that. Super awesome job. Kayla, your class is paying off. You're definitely right. You can handle yourself and public speak it. Actually, me too. So I'll first introduce myself again. My name is Kevin Dolan. I'm the director of the Amerigo Napa campus. And so I'm super excited. I'm here in the campus right now. Super excited to walk you around and show you our home. And so I'm going to start off with probably the most unique and exciting part about living here at the Amerigo Napa dorm. I'll turn my camera around. And so I'd say the most unique and exciting part about living here and studying at Justin Siena is how close we are to the school. So we're physically on the campus. I'm walking out this door. This is our blue door. We call it our school door. And it's a little dark out right now, but as you can see, the lights over there, those are classrooms. So our students, they wake up in the morning, come down this hall, go out the school door, and they're steps away from their classroom. So it's a fantastic way to have, to live your high school experience. It makes it super convenient if you want to take part in the amazing opportunities after school at Justin Siena. If you're on the soccer team, you can come back to the dorm, grab your cleats, head out to soccer practice, come back, have a quick dinner, and you're back in your room, finishing your homework, relaxing, and making the most of your time. It makes it super easy to stay after school, talk with teachers, ask questions. It's just a really fantastic way to experience high school. And it's also a really fantastic way to take advantage of one of the most special parts about being at Justin Siena. I think Kayla and Ashlyn would probably agree with me that that Justin Siena, I think what makes them super, really special is how open the teachers are to talking with students. They want to build relationships with you, to really take advantage of all that Justin Siena can offer. We really work hard to have our students make sure that they're building relationships with their teachers and taking advantage of that openness and that availability. Justin Siena's motto is all heart, and it is definitely a part of everything they do. So I'll move on here and introduce you to some of our campus coordinator team. This is Mr. Soto. We'll come back and talk with you guys more soon. But we have a team of residential campus coordinators that live inside the dorm here, and they're here to help students with everything from transportation to meals to anything you name it. They're here for the kids. We're all here for you guys. And so again, we'll talk more with Mr. Soto later. But the next part of our tour here is our chef's kitchen. So we're super lucky to have 2 full-time chefs that work with us and prepare our meals for the students. And so they're super kind, super flexible. One of the great things about our chefs, Chef Julie and Chef Ishmael, is that they love experimenting with new recipes. So I'm always messaging with parents to get students' favorite home-cooked meals and making sure that we incorporate some of those into our regular meal schedule. So it's we completely understand that one of the amazing things about coming to school in the United States, living in different countries, experiencing a new culture, new food, but we also understand that one of the big parts about feeling at home is food. So we want to make sure that we're exposing our students to new things, but also giving them an opportunity to have something from home. Next, we are in the student pantry. And so here, this is an area just for students. We keep it stocked with snacks. So you'll see kids come in and grab and go, whatever they need anytime. This is also where we put our leftovers from dinner. So there's always tons of food. There's never anybody hungry for sure. If you're ever able to come to Napa for a visit, you will leave with a full belly. We love to eat. But we also have a fridge over here for our students to use if they have small items they want to keep for themselves. A water machine with hot and cold water for tea, very popular here, very important. And then next we have our dining hall. So we love eating meals. One of the big things about being a student here and living at the dorm is the community atmosphere. So we really pride ourselves. It's one of the really special things about living in a dorm is that communal living environment. So we eat meals together, we do activities together, and these points in our day where we come together, like meals, are a really, really important part of the Amerigo Napa community. So here's our dining hall. We also, once a week, we do announcements. So we'll give updates on school news, updates on fun activities that are going on in Napa. We're renting out a private movie theater this weekend. So we'll be taking some students to see the new King Kong movie. So that'll be fun. And moving on here, the next part I'll show you is we have a really fantastic outdoor space. So students will often come here after school. Kayla and Ash, I don't know if you guys have been here, but often students will bring friends from Justin Siena over to play ping pong. We have a badminton net up in the back usually, or just to kind of hang out and enjoy the fresh air. We also, it's a little dark right now, so I apologize, but we're super lucky to have, if you can see it, an awesome pool. So sometimes the sports teams will even come over from Justin Siena and borrow the pool for some training, but our students are lucky to have access to that all the time. So it's a really, really nice special part about living here. So I'll keep moving along here. And here we're in sort of our main living area. So this is one of our central sort of community spaces at the dormitory. So we have dorm meetings in here. We do movie nights in here. We have special, birthday parties in here. Also, of course, kids just come to hang out, relax, watch TV. When their extracurricular activities are over, their homework's done. It's Saturday afternoon and you just need some time to just relax. It's a great place to come and hang out. Often students will often come down here as well if they need a change of scenery to get their homework done and they're sick of being in their room. You'll see them set up shop back here in a nice quiet place and do some work. Next, I'll take you to it's actually a pretty unique space. So it used to be a chapel when this building used to be a convent, actually. So it's a pretty architecturally spectacular room. But we were lucky enough to have Justin Siena let us use it for a study space for us. So this is a space that we like to keep quiet for students that come and really want a designated quiet space. So it sort of functions similarly to a university library. It's set up now in a little more classroom style because our ARC English language learning class recently had a sort of a special session in here for a test. But it's a fantastic space to come and quiet, focused to get some work done. So next, I'll talk a little bit about our student bedrooms. So we have a hallway here on the first floor, and those are double rooms. And then upstairs, down this hall upstairs, is one hallway of single rooms, and that's where currently our upperclassmen girls are living. And then upstairs here, I'll take you up in a minute to show you a room, is where our upperclassmen boys are staying. So we have single rooms upstairs for the upperclassmen traditionally, and then double rooms downstairs for the underclassmen. And it's, one of the big things, one of the most important things that we focus on here, other than, of course, supporting students and making them feel at home. That's the number one priority. But very close or tied for first place, maybe, is safety. So we have, one important rule we have is keeping hallways gender specific. So boys are in one hallway, girls are in one hallway. And it's a really important rule here that that it needs to be respected, that genders stay in their own hallways. Of course, they can come down to the communal spaces to hang out and enjoy each other's company. But we also do have some fantastic safety tools that we use here. So we have security cameras that, of course, watch and monitor the external doors to make sure that people that should not be leaving are not leaving, and people that should not be coming in are not coming in. And then additionally, we want to make sure that students take advantage of all that Napa has to offer. And so we encourage students to be able to go and explore the city, take advantage of all that downtown and all the great places nearby have to offer. We want to we have some slight changes to these rules because of COVID, but under normal circumstances, we use an app called Boardingware in Life 360 in order to have give approval for students to go off campus and make sure that they're doing it in a safe manner. But I'll continue upstairs here. And so here is our upperclassmen boys hallway. It's kind of an L shape here, but it's a little bit late at night here, so the hallway is quiet, which is good. I'm glad to see. And but I'll take you into a single room. And so as you can see, it's a little bit bare now because, of course, it's empty. There's no student living here. But when you move in, everything you need to feel at home and to feel settled right away is here. So we have a bed, a comfortable bed. Turn the light here. Comfortable sheets and linen provided for you. Towels, Of course, a desk and study space for you to be able to have a quiet private place to do your work. Also, plenty of personal storage area for you to be able to unpack and really make this space your own. One of the living in a communal space is in a dormitory like this is exciting and fun, and it's a great way to make friends. But of course, it's also can be challenging as well. So we really want students to make sure that they feel at home and they have some privacy and they have their own space in their bedroom. And so, yeah, it's something that we make sure that we respect. Rooms also have a little sink inside, private for them. But in addition to that sink, there is a communal bathroom, which I will show you. So obviously this is the boys' bathroom, the boys' hallway. So this communal bathroom is for boys only. And so as you can see, there's plenty of stalls, plenty of space for students nobody has to wait. Obviously cleanliness is hugely important, especially when sharing bathrooms. So we have the bathrooms cleaned professionally daily. It's a huge priority that we keep this space clean. And of course, we also require that our students are making sure that they're keeping their things tidy as well. I can show a shower here. That might be helpful. Here's the shower. So I'll turn my camera around here while I'm walking. I'm going to go head downstairs now and introduce you again to Mr. Soto, but give you a little bit more time to get to know our campus coordinator, ask him some questions, and then also introduce you to one of our students, Patricia Castillo, and to hear directly from a student about her experience and time with Amerigo. All right. Hey guys.
How you doing?
How are you guys doing?
Good, good. So I'm Mr. Soto. I'm one of the campus coordinators here. I'm also the coordinator for student success. So that encompasses pretty much everything: the academic portion, the social, emotional integration into the campus, and kind of everything else that goes along with it. So one of my roles here is campus advisor, and right now I'm the campus lead for the Start Anywhere program. So that's the overseas online program. And I don't know how much Mr. Dolan's told you about it, but that right now, that's our big focus for academic wise. So each campus coordinator has an advisory group that we meet weekly or bi-weekly with students. We check on their grades, we help them find resources like tutoring or study groups, or even sometimes we help them ourselves with the subject that they're having problems with. We check on their social emotional state, whether they're at a landing program or at home, and just overall we check in with those students and make sure that they're doing well, dealing with all the issues that are going on in the world, and that they're still functioning academically, and getting out, getting exercise, and eating right, and doing all that good stuff that they do like if they were normally here. Which that's what we try to do with our students here. Which I have one of my students. This is Patty. She's one of our advisory students. Yeah, that's kind of what I do.
Nice, yeah. And so I'll introduce you to Patty a little bit here. So Patty's here on campus and is an advisee of Mr. Soto. And so Patty, if you could just tell maybe a little bit about where you're from and what grade you're in, maybe some extracurriculars and your experience, I guess, just in Siena and with Amerigo.
So hi, my name is Patty. I'm a sophomore here at Just in Siena, and this is my second year here in Amerigo. So my family is living here in California. It's about an hour and a half away from here. So basically at Just in Siena, I basically just do like the basics. I play soccer and volleyball. I did that last year. And this year, well, due to COVID, I haven't really done much, but I mainly like to focus on soccer, and I also like to do choir, singing. It's one of the things I really like to focus on. And some like good things about Justin Siena is the community is very inviting. They're very nice. They focus a lot on all heart, which they really do follow through to that. Like they're all very nice and inviting to everyone. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And Patty's being modest, and I think it's been like one of your strongest academic years this year. So it's been a challenging year. So we're super proud of her. But thank you guys. I'll head out over here and I will turn our camera on. I'll head back to my office. And so I hope that was helpful. And I Stephanie, let me know if there's some questions or what we should do next. I'm eager to talk more.
Thank you so much. This is a really fun tour of the dorm. And yeah, and we do have a question from the chat box from one of our business partners. And I think this question is for you, Kevin. So the question is, hello from Vietnam. It's really amazing that we can experience the dorm of Justin Siena. I have two questions about the meal. Can the students cook by themselves, and may the chef or staffs would prepare our important holiday meals? Thank you.
Yes, and yes. So that chef's kitchen is available to students for sure. And students definitely use it. We also do a lot of cooking activities. So a lot of times students will, have a recipe from home or even a special dessert, and we'll cook a little special meal together. But a super popular one is hot pot. And so sometimes we do that at maybe like once every month or every 2 months or so. We do a big hot pot together. But students are often doing that on their own. It's a really popular thing here. So 100% yes. We just had some students. I guess it's not really cooking, but we had to clean up quickly because they were making ice cream sundaes before the tour. And for holiday meals, yes. So especially the American holidays, the chefs are excited and super prepared to make traditional American, for example, Thanksgiving turkey, or Christmas time. But they're also they're really talented and so flexible and sweet with our students. That for Lunar New Year, they've made dumplings. They're always trying to get the kids to give. We can't get enough recipes from the kids, really. So again, we want to introduce them to a different culture's food, but we also completely understand that a big part of feeling comfortable is having food that you're used to. So yeah. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, I guess our chefs are expert, right?
Yeah, no, they're great. We're lucky to have them.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. And our next question, I think it's for about like University of California. So the question is, do you have partnerships with UC, and how do so many students get accepted to UC schools? We do have a good relationship with the University of California. So you all know that the University of California we have 9 campuses, and we're close to UC Berkeley and UC Davis. And a great news that our student representative, Ashley Mills, she just got accepted to University of California, Davis. So I think I'll just leave this question for her, and to also talk about like how the UC test is optional this year, affecting your application process, and why do you think that, what factors you think are important when you are applying to University of California?
Yeah, so this is a good question. I actually pulled up the statistics for UC Davis specifically. I have the amount of students who applied. So every year at Justin Siena, we get 70% of our students who apply to UC schools. And in the system, there are, I believe, 7 schools, but I have the statistics for UC Davis right here. So this year, of our class of 125 students, 41 students applied to UC Davis, and 12 of them were accepted. So this is actually, considering how competitive this school is, really good statistics. And we had one year in 2019, 48 people apply and 16 be accepted, which is also really good statistics based on this school's merit. Test optional did definitely change things for me as a senior this year, as well as all my other peers. So the UCs went test blind this year, which meant that they wouldn't even look at test scores in this case. So it made admissions definitely interesting. A lot of UCs, we saw a really stark drop in their acceptance rate because you get so many qualified applicants who have high GPAs and such that don't have test scores now to prove it. So it's just a matter of how much room they have in their UC campuses now. But I was one of those students as well who wasn't able to take an SAT or anything. So I applied and was able to get in with strong grades. So I would say that I would emphasize that is a really important aspect of UC admissions, is taking honors and AP classes, because they really judge based on your ability to be offered AP classes, and then the fact that you take those opportunities and make the best of those opportunities on campus. So I took, I think, 5 APs on campus, and we offer something like 20, I believe. So there's a lot of options, whether you're more interested in math and science, there's several APs for that. Or if you're more interested in English and writing and history, there's several APs for that, which I took. So yeah, I hope this was able to answer your question at least a little bit. So that would be my strongest recommendation, is to take lots of AP and honors classes. And as I believe Kayla said earlier, all of our honors classes at Justin Siena are UC verified, so they count for credit at the UC schools.
Ashley will be joining Shu Hung and Kevin Kai. They got accepted to UC Davis also.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool.
Yeah. We're super excited for them. They just found out recently.
Thank you. And we got another question for Kevin. So the question is there any curfews in the dorm, and may the student hang out around like any time? So they
definitely can't head out anytime, but no, we do have a curfew. It's at 10 p.m. and it's actually a law here in Napa. So if you're under 18, you're actually by law not allowed to be out. But sometimes we'll do an activity and we'll come back a little bit late together. There are some extenuating circumstances if someone's working on late on a group project, for example. So we have the rule 10 p.m. and it's a very important one. But at the same time, we're always encouraging our students to get out of the dorm, enjoy Justin Siena, enjoy Napa, hang with friends. We do take precautions to make sure that they're enjoying friends, enjoying their social life safely. But it's a really important part of being a teenager, of enjoying a new culture, of a high school experience, to be able to have some independence and to be able to have have some adventures outside of the dormitory. So safety is always an important consideration. And we do have some policies and protocols around off-campus trips, but we're very excited when students are doing it.
Yeah, I guess Kevin, you can also point to the door sensor. I think it's just in front of you, right? So
yeah, sure. I can. So we have a little sensor on the door and alarm. But I can say our students are we have a great community of students that. And our community, although we do have the technology in place, our community really is built on trust. And we really work to carry over the all heart values from Justin Siena into our dormitory as well. And our students are fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. And I guess the other question is also for you, Kevin. So can students go to San Francisco to hang out outside of a dorm by themselves during the weekend or holidays?
So the quick answer is yes, but we make sure that students are not doing that alone, number one. And also as part of orientation, something that we purposefully do is do a trip together to San Francisco to make sure that students, it's not the first time they're going there when they're on their own or with a friend. And we also, for a trip like that, we also check in with parents and get a permission slip to make sure it's okay with them. We have rules and policies here, but for anything that makes a family uncomfortable, we're always going to defer to them. I really work hard to make myself available to parents 24/7. So if there's something that's making them uncomfortable, if there's a particular rule they want to discuss or permission, I love it. The more I can talk with parents and better understand their perspectives, the better.
Okay, thank you. I guess because of the limit of time, we can just only take one more question. So yeah, the last question, I would say it's more for Kyla. So we have a business partner who is interested in to know more school clubs and organizations. So the question is, like, some parents in Vietnam are really concerned about their kids may not participate in clubs or sports because of lacking confidence or knowledge, etc. So could you please list some clubs or organizations that Vietnamese or Asian students can often join? Kyla, I know that you are also participating in the Chinese club that in Justin Siena. So Justin Siena is definitely a place that has a very welcoming and encouraging atmosphere. So can you also share a little bit about that your experience participating in the Chinese club?
Yeah, of course. So first, to start off, students at the beginning of the year, the club presidents or captains host a fair for all students in the school to check in and look at what they're interested in. There's so many clubs offered at Justin Siena depending on interests. I know before there's been like a video game club or environmental club, and at this fair, students can learn what's the focus of the club and what it wants to achieve through it. And for Asian students who want to find a hub or a culture at Justin Siena, we do have a Mandarin Chinese club, which is available to all students, really. And in this club, as a student leader, we have ventured into other countries and celebrated other country holidays. I think one of my favorite things is being able to show the culture of the Chinese students at Justin Siena to the American ones. And by doing that, we've celebrated, I think, by doing childhood games, we've watched shows together, and sometimes we take off the subtitles so we can practice our language learning skills. And for clubs at Justin Siena, depending on the certain ones, such as mock trial, need an audition, but even at mock trial, we've had international kids audition before and have been part of the team and are really vital members because they have a different perspective on the world than we do.
Thank you, Kyla. And I think that also the students, when they got here, we have a small group like for the advisors in the dorm. So when the students are communicating with our Amerigo advisors, they will be able to get more information, and the teacher will be able to help you to get connected with the sport or club team. So you don't, the student doesn't need to be afraid anymore. So yeah, we will definitely be able to support the students while they're in the dorm.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to another really popular club at our school for exchange students especially is a close friend of mine runs the chess club. Since chess is such a universal sport, it's been really popular throughout the years with exchange students as well. So if your kid is really interested in chess, that would be a great option too.
Thanks, Ashley.
I was going to jump in too, actually. Sorry, Stephanie. And just say that one of our students, Dayun, she's on the club council. We really did, first of all, Justin Siena is an extremely welcoming community, but also we have a lot of participation in extracurricular clubs and sports on campus. And so it's an environment where there's a lot of students here that are able to talk to students about, maybe a new student about clubs that they're participating in, maybe even attend them with them to help them feel a little bit more comfortable. So, we definitely don't want them to feel like they're on their own, having to, make the intimidating step of showing up to a club on their own, not knowing anybody. For sure, it's difficult, but we have a ton of support for things like that.
Thank you so much, Kevin. The last comment I see on the chat box is from one of our audience, and say that Justin Siena is an awesome school. They said congratulations for the university acceptances. That's very sweet. Thank you. So I guess that will be the end of our session. So Jonas?
Just FYI, we have also received messages from China, Korea, saying that they were very impressed with everything that you guys talked about. Thank you again, Kevin, Kala, and Ashley. And congratulations for the college acceptance, guys. Good luck with your college life. I do think that we have someone from Korea who might have a question for us. Mr. or Mrs. Seong, I saw someone raising hand in the chat box. If you have any question, you could talk now. If not, I guess we will conclude today's tour. All right, I think that might be that there might be some confusion with the technology. Again, thank you for your time. Have a good night, and we will see you later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Have a good night.
Thanks so much.
Everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.